Okay, so that is our session number 37 for Shadowrun. We are still in Season 1, but they only have a few short bits of story left before they finish out the season of the story. Though those small bits of session could quite literally take 3 or 4 sessions. We shall see how they go. So tonight they are in the shadows under Tacoma, trying to get away from Aztechnology, one of the major corporations, who are so obviously not into bad stuff because they have corner stores at every major intersection called the Stuffer Shack, because you can buy stuff there. And most people live off them like they would, say, the old 7-Elevens or the petrol station sort of locale. So, online tonight we have... Oh, we'll do Ariadne first. We have...
Oh, could we do online just one second?
Okay, we'll do online first. Online today we have Jeremy.
Good evening all. Yes, I'm playing Declan Deadshot, the elf who grew up on the streets and the gutters of Seattle, and dreamed one day of eventually joining that elite crew motorcycle gang called the Ancients, also the Elven Ancients. And so, yeah, worked hard, got his first bike, demonstrated he knew what he could do. He could take that bike anywhere. And then, however, just as he started to gain some contact with the Ancients and make a name for himself, he's now got to be sidetracked by the fact that he suddenly discovered that apparently he has got a family, and they've had some money, or have money, and they've left behind an inheritance for him, which he's still trying to work out. But the most important part of it, it's got a really cool bike.
The really cool bike's the really important bit.
That's
Otherwise
right.
you'd be the poster child for Aztec, wouldn't you?
No, Aztec bad.
You said it's no, Ancients, sorry.
Ancient.
They all start with A's, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Elle was worried. I'm supposed to be seasoned and I still do
I'm
that.
terribly worried.
Oh, don't worry.
But
5 minutes of me playing, you'll stop worrying.
But yes, he also, he's got natural knack with bikes, cars, and also guns.
And a little bit of even if you're dying, you can't ride on my bike ism.
Well, he's also the closest a thing have to a natural medic, but...
That's true. I shouldn't tease him too much about not letting other people ride his bike.
Especially when your magic healer is going to be busy tonight. So that brings us to Josh.
I'm ready, by the way. I just wanted to have my book in front of me.
Hello, I'm Josh. I play Flora. Flora likes to steal doors. Flora knows only one thing, and that is to flog things with beasts. At the moment, I sit at 15 doors out of my deck of cards.
You
How
sure?
many-
No, it's 15. Can he count
Yeah.
that high?
I'm sure someone told him, but whether or not it's 15 or not remains to be seen.
Jeremy, I was just going to ask the exact same question. How do you know it's 15?
So yeah, Flora is a big burly troll, built basically like a brick house. Is all about being nitty-gritty, close, and punching people's heads off, and has a weird obsession of doors to the point where he's trying to make a deck of playing cards to play Go Fish with.
Not so weird to us who have known you so long. It seems normal.
Yeah.
Then we'll jump to Ariadne at the table.
I play Shadowstar, generally known as Shadow. I am a blue-haired elf with purple eyes, and I'm aspiring to be a magic user, but I'm still a... What is it? A Novi? A Noviate?
Initiate?
Novice. Yeah. There's a word here.
Well, you're well trained. You have 3 ranks in magic.
Yeah, but I've still got this. Have I gone up from the novice rating? Have I?
Well, considering the ranks are out of 5 and you've got 3.
Oh, okay. So
You're
I can erase this novice and write in something else here.
Yes, sure.
Oh, nice. All right. In which case, I am a fully fledged magic user, and I stand for kind of the Robin Hood of the corporate world, in the sense that I try to steal a lot of money off corporate people and keep some of it for myself and give most of it to good people.
Which is also amusing that this is number 1 of the con artists in the group.
Yeah.
Which then brings us on to number 2 of the con artists, Em.
Wait, since when am I a con artist?
I was going to
You
say
started
that
off
too.
as a con artist as your career.
Oh, that changed dramatically very quickly.
Wait a minute, I'm down as fired. Does that make me a con artist?
Maybe Bolt misunderstood what con artist meant.
Same here, I'm just figuring that out.
Does that mean Paul Bolt a failed con artist?
Well, considering Bolt can... I don't believe Bolt can remember what con artist means, so...
Come on, con Bolt into being a con artist.
Something like that. But yes, Bolt is not your sharpest bolt in the shed. He likes to run very, very fast. He lost his fur for a little while, and apparently is a little bit more magical than he used to be. And Desmond has been trying really hard lately to make Bolt as happy as possible. And Bolt doesn't mind, because that means I get more walkies.
I have to rewrite my sheet.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Well, yeah. Bolt was certainly, Declan was certainly thinking it was going to be on Bolt's good side as Bolt got bigger and bigger and bigger. Fortunately, he's come down a bit in size, so he's not quite away that anymore.
I really like the misused analogy of not the sharpest bolt in the shed.
Hey, it's equivalent of saying is useful as a screen door in a submarine.
Well, isn't the whole idea of bolts is that the screws flat
Bolts
so you
are
can
not
put a bolt
sharp,
on them?
right.
So therefore...
Did someone say screen door in a submarine?
Okay,
Did someone say trapdoor on the moon?
Did someone just say door?
Yes, we have had a few, and that brings us to our new player, Al.
Hey. Alright, well, here I am about to give give you all a character history. Tell me, please, if I get this wrong.
You can't.
Okay. Alright, well, look, I'm an elf. I'm a devious little bastard. I have a sense of morals about me, but I think Shadow, you said that you were a bit of a sort of a Robin Hood type.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to give a lot to the poor, but so far I'm not so good on that side of accounting.
Well, you're the poor as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Declan's middle name is Paul.
Yeah. So, I'm given to the party, but please.
Well,
Shadow's accountant is actually Flogger.
Right. Well, I mean, you can put all that stuff down to accounting errors at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I would say I'm somewhat similar. I may or may not be involved in some really, really terrible stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem like selling my body or the bodies of my friends for money, but at the same time,
you're in good company.
Excellent.
But that kind of because you've already sold your mum, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, she looks all right for a raise.
Although in Flogger's case, he'll sell a body for a door.
Oh, of course. Well, he's only got 15, so it makes sense. He's got a few more doors to go. I'm also a conflicted character. I sometimes have these waves of guilt about the things that I do. But then I usually just override that by partying and just manipulating people and getting the high of feeling powerful, even though my deepest insecurity is that, in fact, if I wasn't good looking and didn't know how to talk, I would have no power at all, because I'm actually really generally a little bit average. But no one knows that because I'm so great at hiding it.
It says, for those of us who were here when you're picking out your characteristic scores. I won't tell anyone, I promise.
It could be worse. You could just batter your eyes and hope everyone agrees to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a cure for those times when you're feeling a bit guilty or concerned. Have another drink and party on.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Or just add another, person to my harem of SLUL. Yes, or sluts. Or
Indeed.
Yes, let's continue. That's me.
And I'm sure your character will have a string of former acquaintances that believe that you're in a relationship with them until they give you their bank account details.
Or until you need their bank account details again.
Okay, alright. I don't know who you've been talking to, mister.
Okay, so yes, that brings us to our party tonight. So, where you are, they have gotten a job from a very humorless Johnson who comes from Texas. He actually gave them, his name is Walker, which is very unusual for Johnsons. Johnson's been the name of the standard employer for Shadowrunners. And Shadowrunners being the people who fall between the cracks of corporation and everyday life. And so he was paying them what is more than a year's salary to break into a corporation, Aztechnology, who have a giant pyramid building taking up many city blocks of Seattle. And he wanted them to get a sample of some new bio where they were working on that would allow them to create animalistic people, and then he would pay them a outrageous amount of money to hand it over to him with the data. And with all this sounding too good to be true, one of the party members was then blackmailed by the major terrorist organization that makes every other terrorist organization in the world look like they're just pretending, called Almos 20,000. And they had kidnapped the beloved sister of this character and said that instead of getting paid for this job, give us the stuff or we'll kill your sister. To which he said okay, and then forgot all about for many months until his sister's finger showed up and the note saying, we're waiting. Wait any longer and the parts will grow bigger. At which point he told the party, maybe we should do this. Because most of them were going, we don't really need to do that. We've taken the sign-on fee. We can just run off without the Johnson knowing we haven't done anything. So they went into Aztechnology with the help of the Johnson and broke into where the testing was being done to find out it was a form of zombie virus that allows the bodies to keep going even though the host has died. And they're not exactly sure what it is that keeps going, but they got a sample of it out with all the data concerned and then blew up the containment area that housed everything. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with setting loose a bioweapon under the streets of the city you live in.
Do they have this zombie virus?
Yes, they have had it. And while they were trying to escape with it, they were being chased by Aztechnology corporate staff who were trying to recover it. That's when they found out that there was most likely tracking parts in the sample they took, so then they cut into the sample to remove said tracking pieces. I'm sure that
not into the sample, just into the packaging. I'm sure that's fine.
and I'm sure the packaging can survive having its outer layers cut into. I'm sure it actually had no protective merits whatsoever.
It doesn't have any impact on its security at all, I'm sure.
But they now believe that they're no longer being tracked because the Aztechnology haven't come at them at this point as they escaped into the sewers under Tacoma. And so tonight's session will be bringing you in, having reached an area called Wilhelm Park, which is underneath Tacoma. You come into what looks like a shopping mall and are greeted by a young orc who calls herself Jenny, saying her boss wants to have a word with you if you have time. He's got a proposition.
Do you want to take the lead?
She's probably not. Go on.
Desrin? I said, did you want to take the lead?
I was going to say, she's probably not wearing a technology uniform, so either she's in disguise, and it's good disguise, or she might be less unsafe to talk to than others might be.
Well, she has a Orc Power tie-dyed t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. Probably not working for almost 20,000 then either.
Yeah.
For L's sake, the important thing about the almost 20,000 terrorist organisation is that they're human only, and all other races should be killed and destroyed. Should never have existed.
Which is interesting considering not a single party member is human except for the NPC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, Declan's happy to greet this Jenny, because hey, at this stage we're at a bit of a loose end as to where we can go, because the contact that we were supposed to meet up with turned out to be almost 20,000. So we don't really know how to get in contact with Mr. Walker again, and at this stage I'm guessing we're still dirty and mucky from our swim in the Puget Sound and it's wandered through the sewers. So once again, the elves, we're looking for a place to rest and recuperate, are we not?
Quick question. To dispel, does that allow me the equivalent of prestidigitation?
No.
Damn. Do I have the equivalent of prestidigitation?
Not in this setting.
Damn. Okay. I'm absolutely with Desrin. We need to find somewhere to get cleaned up because I don't want to smell like this for long.
Okay, so she leads you into an underground shopping mall. It looks like this place existed before the volcano erupted on the outskirts of Seattle, covering half of Seattle. And this place got buried long ago, and it looks like it's turned into a orc paradise, or at least an orc refuge, by the looks of things. And you're taken in to talk to an elderly-looking orc with a elf with red hair standing beside him. He introduces himself as Alan Bronson. He says he sees that you've met his associate Jenny Hernandez. Just out of amusement, Hernandez is used an awful lot in Shadowrun. I'm not sure if I can actually find a module that hasn't got that name in it in the early modules.
What was his name again?
Alan Bronston.
Bronston.
Yes.
And
neither of those names ring bells for us, I'm assuming.
None of them do.
Considering
Aside from Hernandez, obviously.
in my history, back when I got fired at the start of when I very first started playing, one of the reasons I got fired was because I stole money to give to an orc organisation. This wouldn't be that organisation, would it?
Would not.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
This orc organisation has kept itself away from corporations.
Would they happen to know that that's why I was fired? Because I was fired very publicly for doing a really bad job.
Quite possibly.
Okay, all right.
So he greets you, says he knows who you are. He recognizes Desrin, the ancient in training. Not quite finished training yet.
Everybody knows you're an ancient in training.
This would appear to be the legendary Orc Underground.
He says, not really. This is the Orc Keepaway. The underground is where people actually know where it exists. No one else except you guys know this place is here. would rather keep it private. If you would not mention it, we would be most grateful.
No one's mentioning it. What? Where are we? I don't know.
Okay. Daniel's immediately look around to find, okay, how many big orc with guns are nearby? Are we walking out of this, or we already know too much?
You can see about 5 orcs with quite heavy machine guns, quite loosely held. About another 20 orcs with heavy pistols. All looking as if they've been looted somewhere along the line. And even a couple of trolls here, with one of them with a cleaver almost as big as you are.
I'm pretty sure Flogger's going to start sharpening a door in order to end up with a cleaver that's roughly the same sort of size, but still a door.
Yeah, but you probably start with that fly screen from the submarine.
Okay, so yes, yeah, he says he's happy to give you some shelter here and keep you away from the prying eyes of Aztechnology that are hunting you through the sewers, as well as the hate gang members that seem to be also hunting you.
We kind of don't
That
like
is-
hate gangs.
Yeah, well, they do say the almost 20,000 that was attacking.
Yeah.
That would be generous of you.
Says that's okay. He'll do it as long as you help him out with this small matter.
Of course.
Oh,
Does this small matter include a hot shower?
It can.
Okay.
Though you might want it after the small matter.
Okay. I will take that under advisement. And the small matter?
The small matter, a couple of his community have gone missing recently, and he'd like you to get them back. He knows exactly where they're being held.
Yeah, I'm happy to get in on the
doesn't
small
sound
matter.
like Missy.
Well, considering you just broke into one side of Aztechnology, and we know that you broke into Beta section, he says the orcs in question are held in Alpha section. And he's happy to get you there and out again if you can get free his brethren, as well as this nice ladies here was sent via a friend of yours called Socal.
SoCal we know.
Okay.
Which nice
Yeah,
lady is he
SoCal.
referring to?
He points to the elf with the red hair called what name do we have down for?
What?
Yes.
I was going to say, you're just going to mispronounce it?
Yes, I'll
Because-
probably
yeah.
mispronounce it every time because that's what I do, unfortunately.
You'd be
That makes
disappointing
you
us.
QL?
Oh, yo, hi, what's up? Alan here.
And
Okay.
as far as you know, you're being hired to help some friends of a guy who keeps getting you out of trouble financially by helping you hide the money.
Okay.
And you've never met him in person, but he's fantastic online, and you've never been able to charm him because he only ever talks to you via text.
Impossible. I can charm anyone via text. Alright.
Now that
Noisy
truly is
denial.
magic.
But hey,
Okay.
he's never betrayed you, and he's helped you launder so much money now that you probably would have been destitute by now if he hadn't have done it.
Oh, well, there we go. See, you wouldn't do that for someone unless you've been charmed by them. But anyway.
Well, he does skim
Well,
off you,
but he's pocketing.
Yeah, true. Okay.
he skims
So-
off you, but he does tell you how much he skims.
Yeah, right. Okay. Alright, so, like, hold up. Like, what am I doing? I'm trying to get into...
You're trying to break into one of the major corporations to help free a bunch of orcs who have been taken prisoner and experimented on.
So,
And this guy who helps me launder stuff,
Yep.
okay, so what's his relation? Is he standing there, or?
No, he only ever talks to you online. He got you two here.
so we've walked into a room which you're already in, standing in the back of, I presume. We meet up with this old orc guy called Alan. he says he's happy to protect us from the Aztec guys and the hate mob guys if we're willing to do a small matter. And he says one of the conditions is that this elf, you, who's is also going to help us, and you have been volunteered by the guy who's been laundering your money for you. Is that right, Martin?
Yep, that's correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, depending upon exactly other negotiations you might have had with SoCal, from our understanding of your situation, you're doing it because you're friends with SoCal. Which,
Yeah.
So SoCal's the guy who's been helping her launder money. Oh, I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
So to fill you in, SoCal's our IT guy, and he's obviously geeked out on you a lot, and he's decided that he's going to help you launder money. He's realised that because our job went bad last session, and we're being chased down by these two other groups, that we're going to need help. So he's sent you along to help us with this mission.
Right. Perfect. Okay. All right. So what am I going to do? Like talk to this orc guy?
Well, they're sending you in to extract some people from a place which you're not particularly skilled at, but hey, starting somewhere to help pay off your debt will work.
So the mission is to break into Aztechnology's Alpha section and break out a couple of orcs.
Okay. All right.
so it's the sort of thing that your natural skill set will hopefully not be required. But if we do meet some guards that we don't want to kill, you might be able to talk your way past them.
Yeah.
But she can also convince the people you're rescuing that you're there to help them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Considering none of us are orcs.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I'm just writing notes.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay,
All right.
so
Okay.
If you need anything repeated back, just ask people to pause and we'll repeat it back. I do this to Martin all the time.
Cool. Okay, all right. Well then, I mean, like, what can I do from here? What can I like make a choice or?
well, you can decide if you don't want to go off into helping out these people, then SoCal may walk off with all your ill-gotten gains.
Ah, damn SoCal. There's always something with him. All right. No, look, yes. You know, okay, yes. Obviously, I'm going to give this a shot. Let's do it. I mean, where is this Alpha B or Alpha A area?
That's when you find out you have to walk through the sewers.
Again, which is why my shower was forestalled.
Oh,
Thanks.
God. Disgusting.
No, I'm fine with not having had the shower yet. Because I got to go back into the sewer.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Right.
Okay, and he does say that he has found out where Almos 20,000 has taken your troll's friend.
Is that Womp?
Yes.
Okay.
And sister.
Yeah, the sister. And he has doctored the feed to make it look like they have executed.
Oh, okay.
Still alive.
Hold up.
So this is from previous session, so it might help if you're up to getting a little overview of previous session.
I'll duck to the bathroom where you do an overview.
Martin's letting me do an overview of previous session.
Yeah.
So last session, our friend Womp, he at the start of this session, he gave you an overview of what happened. And what happened in the last session was we were supposed to be doing a handover to help rescue Womp's sister. And Jeremy, feel free to correct me if I start going astray. Because I'm trying to get it all straight in my brain, and it's complex. So we thought we were meeting with a Johnson, which is the anonymous name guys use for handing out jobs.
Or a contact with the guy that paid us, to hire us to do the job we'd asked to do. So.
Much better, yep. And so it turned out that this Almos 2000, this fascist group, had actually we didn't know until later on, killed off our contact. And so we ended up in a gun battle. And we didn't end up with the goods, and we didn't end up getting Womp's sister, which was the whole goal of why we were trying to do this job. And at the end of last session, we saw a video of Womp's sister being shot. So we thought not only had we failed at getting the job done, but we hadn't rescued the sister. And now because Womp isn't able to attend this session, or Womp's player, Womp is absent. So sorry, I've lost track of what I'm...
That's okay. So basically,
Thank you.
Alan is going to send Womp off with some of his orc friends to recover his sister and get her safely through the terrorists' grasp.
Because it turns out Sokol faked her death by hijacking the video feed.
Oh wait, so Cal is actually not a great guy because...
No, I don't think Sokol was involved in the
No.
feed.
So it's
Your group faked the feed.
our group faked the feed.
The orc group.
The orc group
The people
faked
you're talking
the feed.
to.
Oh, okay, right. So it wasn't Sokol. Yeah, please. Sorry, I do confuse people
good.
sometimes because I have a horrible memory, which is why I write everything down.
Okay, so we got this guy called Womp who's an old mate, and he's like, hey, my sister is captured, and we go through this no-name person, Johnson, or Corporation John, whoever Johnson is,
Yep.
to kind of get the details about this job and how to rescue the sister. We're like thinking that we're doing this job, like, yeah, sweet. Little do we know, our blah blah 20,000 million was actually took over Johnson, killed Johnson. We're like none the wiser, and then suddenly we get this video recording of the sister being killed. We think it's legit, and we're like, oh my gosh, she's fully dead.
But the funny thing is, only Jeremy's character has seen the video footage.
He told me about it.
And the other aspect that I'll clarify here is that technically, all that was just a sideshow for the job we were actually doing.
Yes.
Oh,
Welcome
great.
to the circus of Shadowrun. It is less confusing the longer you play it, I promise.
And the amusing thing is, that's not the GM putting the complexity in there. That's how they wrote the storyline. I just tweaked it a little.
And to be fair, it was the sort of thing that, to Womp, obviously, Womp, one of our friends, his sister was important. To the rest of us, maybe, whatever.
Yeah.
They'd never met her, so...
So Ariadne mentioned that we thought we failed the job because we ran into this LMS 20,000 contact instead of our actual Johnson contact. Whereas in fact, we had actually finished the job. We collected the virus sample and the data on the virus that we've been sent in to collect. The only problem is that as far as getting paid for that, we have to try and meet up with our Johnson contact, who we now have not contact with because he died.
He hasn't died. His assistant that you're meeting was killed off.
Yeah, that's okay. The Johnson contact.
Yeah, the Johnson's contact.
Okay.
This is why I should just let Jeremy explain from the start instead of trying to be helpful.
And
so now we're in the situation of having come into this, escaped the firefight that was occurring up on the dock where we thought we were going to get paid, and it turned out it hadn't worked. There was a firefight between LMS 20,000 and Aztechnology, who were both after us, but we managed to escape in the crossfire. But we escaped only temporarily, and now we've managed to get at least some respite with this Alan, whatever his name was, the Orc.
Bronston.
However, in recompense for his at least temporary protection and cover, he wants us to go and get back into the facility where we've just been, although I say for part of it.
A more higher security part.
To recover these orcs. And he's also offering to Wom, hey, your sister's still alive. If you go with my friends here, you go and collect her, while your friends, i.e. us, go and collect our orcs.
Right.
That will make it clear somewhat-ish.
God, I hope so.
Yes.
And Alan does
Welcome to Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Alan does add a further complexity to you in saying that if while you're in Alpha Section you can get Dr. Carol Owens and extract her, she is the person behind the metagene virus you have stolen.
Can you say her name again in just 30 seconds? Alpha Section Rescue Doctor?
Carol.
Well, rescue might be the wrong word there,
Carol.
because that's what Deborah's about to ask is, does she wish to be extracted?
Yes,
You
she
know?
does. He has a corporation who's interested in paying you handsomely for her extraction.
She might have
Yeah.
created the zombie virus under
Duress.
duress. Yeah.
And if you happen to have a copy of said data go with her, he'll make sure you're richly rewarded for that extra copy that no one knows about.
Is that extra copy we have that nobody knows about? Are you nodding and laughing?
The one
while-
you haven't had a chance to
Well-
make yet.
Yep.
It's also a case of, from our perspective, we're immediately on the aspect of, well, okay, so now we've got a second buyer for what we've already got. If we could contact Mr. Walker again, we can still sell to him.
Yep.
And we can, if we recover this doctor and give the data to the other corporation,
Yep.
then we can get paid twice. That's never a bad thing.
Yep.
And that's what he's offering you is a second payday on top of your current payday.
Assuming we can find Mr. Walker again, but hey, that shouldn't be a major problem.
I'm
Well,
pretty
we
sure
can
Mr.
actually
Walker
get
will
there.
find us. He is a ranger after all.
That's right.
You also know that
Exactly.
Mr. Walker works for Ares Corporation, which is the biggest weapons manufacturer of the world.
Yeah.
Giving them a bioweapon, I'm sure there's no real problem with that.
I was thinking exactly that. We're all gonna die, but we all die someday any day. Anyway.
Money's money.
Amen.
And he's paying a lot of live longer money than most of the others are offering.
So, clarification. This extra copy, you said we haven't made a copy yet, so we still have to make a copy.
Mm-hmm.
Is SoCal the person we go to for that, or is that somebody else?
You could go to SoCal, just that he's currently indisposed, trying to leave electronic traces of you elsewhere in the city for the others to chase after.
Okay, so if not SoCal, who do we normally go to there?
Desrin is probably the next likely target. Or you.
Alrighty.
I think you're the
Let's
next
deal with
Mars.
that.
I'm the
Let's
next
deal
what?
with that
Smartest.
after we
yeah.
actually find out whether we can get hold of this doctor, whatever her name was.
Let's
Carol
go
Owens.
Carol Owens first,
Carol.
and our how many orcs are we rescuing?
He does not know. Get out whoever you can.
Okay.
And so Dr. Carol Owens is known as the Tailor. She is a doctor in genetic manipulation, specifically the metagene sequences.
Now, discussing with this Alan the job further and finding out exactly what he's looking for and what he's aiming at, it'll probably come out that when we left what you're referring to, Area Bravo or B, to recover the data, we kind of set it up that we weren't expecting to be going back there anytime soon.
Well, you won't be coming back from that side. You'll be coming in from the opposite side of the complex. So they probably
so
won't
we
expect
have
you
another
back so
access
soon. He
We
does
have
have
another
another.
access point.
He does have another access point. He knows the sewers better than your Johnson did.
Right.
And the old saying
And-
goes, "Never trust a Texan."
Mm.
Well, especially a Texan dragon or a Texan elf. Are we likely to indicate our entry point to Alpha? Because we go to the first time,
You went to beta section.
Beta section,
Yeah.
yeah. The entry point to beta involved some specialised equipment. Are we likely to need such similar equipment?
You've still got 2 doses
Alpha?
left.
Yes.
He says
Okay.
he
Didn't know I
says
wanted to use them.
he says yes. You will still need the same gear you used to walk through the wall, as his spies pointed out to me.
Okay.
Don't
So-
worry, we can get you there without trouble.
Can you fill me in on the 2 doses thing?
So you use 1 dose to apply to the wall, and for an hour you can walk through it as if it's like chewing gum.
Yep. All right.
And you have a furry, unhappy member of the party who got it stuck through all his fur.
Yeah. That could be a problem for Bolt again, but we'll see how we go.
And this is where Bolt realizes it's going to happen again.
No,
Well,
no.
yeah.
Bolt keeps telling me just how dumb he is. I'm hoping this doesn't occur to Bolt until well after the fact. In fact, if I can do some sort of magic to just, or distract Bolt in some manner.
Look, Bolt!
Yeah, look, Bolt.
But the other concern I have is that, or the time frame in which to conduct this extraction.
So the sooner the better, because while the units are all hunting you throughout the sewers on the side of the beta and above ground, less people inside the complex in case you trip up an alarm.
Uh-huh.
The safest time to do it is now.
Let's go.
I can understand that thought process. However, we are missing one important piece of equipment that we had when we went into beta complex, was noting it was a biological lab that we're entering. We had protective suits to help us to get out.
Well, why don't you just
Are we
use
likely to need
those?
those in Alpha, or is that not part of the biological lab?
Alpha is the other biological site of Aztechnology. They have Alpha and Beta where they duplicate their work.
This will mean something to Jeremy and possibly Josh and Emmy. I've only just realised where Beta site is. Which is back where we had Bolt get us in and out. It's taken me this long into the game. Figure it out.
That's okay.
So it would be advantageous then if we had chemical protection suits once again.
It would. Would you like the suits you threw away back?
Yes. But on our last job, not on our last job, he said he can get us in and get us out. Does that mean get us into a van?
Well, he can get you into to where you can use your chemical to get you into Aztechnology.
Okay, alright, so we don't have to worry about the van.
Then he can get you back.
No, because we're still going to be travelling through the sewers to get there.
Just the suits. Okay.
And we're
all
entering
good.
from the sewers.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, if he's got our old suits, why don't we just wear those?
Those suits got blown up when we set explosives behind us.
Well, you didn't
You've
wait.
been watching us for some time.
We saw you as soon as you entered the sewers. It's not like many people come down here with weapons and look clean and pristine as your female companion over there looked when she first entered.
That female companion being
Shadowstar.
me. Oh, okay, yeah.
We've had many lupins like your wolf man over there come through the sewers, but very few elves looking like they're out on the night on the town.
I was gonna say, Bolt's probably like one of the gang by now.
Alright.
Yeah, he's playing fetch with the kids.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he's off. He's having a ball down here.
And there's also many kids willing to play tag, so 12-year-olds who look like bodybuilders.
Orks, you're saying, are
Yep.
playing with Bolt, the canine
Well,
bipedal dog.
They have the physical size of an adult, but the mentality of a 12-year-old.
Okay. Yep. I'm just wondering if we're talking too much over the head of our new player, Elle. So.
Oh no, please! I mean, I'm trying to. I mean, do I have to like make a decision, like with like the player or something?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Basically,
as long as you're willing to accompany us on the task, that's all the video required there. So.
Basically,
And I was about to say also the fact that yes, discussing the idea of Voltov playing with the Orks and things like that is actually something that Shadowstar and Genesys are often quite happy to have Bolt and Flogger off doing other things so they don't interfere with negotiation when the adults are talking.
In terms of context,
yeah.
it's more just role-playing kind of context.
Yes, Josh?
Yeah.
So you mentioned that these guys are probably like the size of Flogger.
Size of Bolt.
Not that big.
Size of Bolt, but they are bodybuilding sort of kids
Orc.
mentally,
Yeah.
but they're the size of adults, so...
And probably big adults, like in the sense,
adults, yeah.
potentially looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they're only 12 years old.
No, yeah. Not so much that. Floggers, we're in a like kind of like a marketplace, yeah?
You're in, imagine a shopping mall, multi-level shopping mall, and you do have a couple of orcs and trolls around with big weapons.
Yeah.
Yes. So Flogger wants to go find something that'll make him punch harder. And then also would like to find some kind of like some glad wrap material for bolts to be wrapped up in when we go through this bubblegum stuff again.
Well, no, but I think you're slightly misunderstanding in the sense that...
No, I'm not misunderstanding. This is what Flogger wants to do.
Okay,
So, no. I'm just saying the fact that so when we talked about a shopping mall, it's the idea of it's a shopping mall post-apocalypse. It's
I
not
mean, the
actually
Flogger can't go around and like try and find stuff. Like,
Yep.
he's in a new location. He's gonna go and be curious.
It's not like you go to the shops, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
He comes across a store that the first store he comes across says it's a doorway to the mind.
Gets immediately distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, well, these are mental doors. I don't know if I like this.
As you walk in, there are a bunch of kids listening to an elder orc telling a story.
No.
So it is literally a bookstore.
Too many
doorways?
I tell Flogger, these are actually doors. You could make your deck with these. You could collect all 54 right now. And they all have pretty different door coverings. And some of them, in fact all of them, are double-sided. You get 2 doors for 1. Does Flogger fall for it?
So, would you like to see if there's a check if Flogger believes you?
Yeah, sure.
So that means that would Flogger be happy to have a check against him?
It's not
I don't see why not.
Okay, so to show how the dice works, that it represents Ariadne's skill with it, and I'm going to look up Flogger.
I'm just about to look me up, Chad.
I don't have any sort of charm spells, do I?
And his thing would be...
Talk to Talon.
Oops.
Talon, okay.
Well, yes, yeah, maybe that's who we should have gotten to convince Flogger.
The purple dice represent the difficulty part. So it's always interesting to see how it turns out.
Did one of them jump out?
No.
No? Oh,
Not that many dice. So what it turned out to be was quite successful convincing Flogger that these books are doors, and that he can make a deck out of them a lot simpler.
So that's a success.
The yellow and the green are successes.
And that's a
the
threat?
purple is a threat,
Okay.
which means
Do I lose... do I
you
get
take
strain?
1 strain for doing so. It does hurt Shadowstar's head to describe this to Flogger.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting because, you know, he's going to start invading all the libraries now.
Well, there are no physical libraries upstairs in the...
No, I mean, if this lasts for any length of time, no library or bookstore is now safe. So while I think I'm solving a problem, I'm actually creating one.
Flogger just gets one book.
Okay, so they give him a book. It is Sea Bolt Run.
Sea Bolt Run.
With the letter C instead of the word C.
Yeah, that makes it easier. Flogger will never read this, but...
It's not for you to read. They're doors. They're little mini doors.
And it's got a picture of a dog on the front, so obviously it's all about Bolt.
Yeah.
So you have your first door collected from the Orc Underground.
Beautiful. That's all Flogger really is after, is like just collecting one door from each location. So by all means, you can say that all these books are doors. Flogger will only get one and then continue to go through each location.
And
That's right.
you return to
Every door's got to be unique.
you return to the others, forgetting all about the cling wrap and the hitting harder because you were distracted by doors.
I ask Mr. Bronston whether or not he's got anything that might help our our Flogger hit harder. And if there's some sort of wrap that we can wrap around our bolt to diminish the effects of doses for doors.
Well, you can put on his outfit again. So that's all good.
Enviro suit, yeah.
Well, he hands you your Enviro suit that you thought
works.
you destroyed.
Is there anything that will help Flogger punch harder?
He says Flogger already seems to have stuff that help him punch harder.
Okay, can you remind me what that is so I can
believe he
remind
has brass
Flogger?
knuckles.
Okay. What about your brass knuckles, I remind
And a big
Flogger?
hammer.
And your hammer.
I don't have a hammer.
Yay.
Bolt has a hammer. I do not.
He has a stick.
I've got
Okay.
You got a stick.
I've got a basically a stun baton, and I've got a plasma cutter,
Right.
but I do not have. But
What about the knuckles?
Flogger is really curious if he can hit harder than just using brass knuckles.
Okay. Alright. So, the GM is kind of saying no, so I'm guessing this is not an opportunity to acquire more things for Josh.
Well, they don't have a lot of
That's fine.
stuff down here.
Yep, that's fine.
You might be able to find a big stick.
Yeah, they had some stuff, but not a huge amount.
Let's see. As Bolt runs up to you.
Yes, Bolt comes carrying a big stick. It's sort of white, oddly shaped. No longer has meat on it, but looked like it did have it on at some point.
Thigh
A big stick that had been tried away by one of the Orc kids, in fact.
Pretty much.
Yes, okay.
It's
But during all
believed.
this conversation, Genesys realised that Alan has been watching them for way too long and has way too much control and influence over the moment. So I guess they're going to be doing the job as best they can.
Yep,
Probably.
we need to go.
And
Well, you also realise that if you decline, he could always arrange for the Aztechnology to wander into wherever you are.
exactly, he recognised that, yep, maybe we can get this payday if we can convince this Dr. Carroll to come with us.
And he did ask nicely.
Sorry?
He did ask nicely.
That's right, he asked nicely, surely that's worth something.
Let's get going.
And I guess there's no time like the present.
Okay, he sends Jenny on with you to make sure you get there and back. He'll have others of his friends keeping the Aztechnology and the Almos people busy in the sewers while you're getting in and out.
I'm assuming he doesn't have any particular knowledge of the layout of the complex or security systems or anything like that that will be helpful as part of our planning.
He has hired someone to try to break in, but Aztechnology is notoriously bad for getting into.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest place to break into, he says. As I bring
Did
up
you
a
not
map.
text Paul Wilson?
I talked to him about Saturday.
No, tonight.
I don't think. I
Okay,
did.
alright.
You said you were going.
Excuse
to.
me for a second.
Alright. Just bringing up a map for you.
Okay, Alan does have a bit of reconnaissance information in help on the run. That's nice.
He does.
Because this team is such good planners.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, like, we've gotten away with everything so far, right? Without much planning at all. If ever.
Well, you have planned quite a few things, so don't sell yourself too short.
No, but what you don't understand is Bolt hasn't planned anything. Never. No one plans anything. And it's all worked out fine.
Well, let's just get it. Well, yes. As far as Bolt's concerned, no one planned anything. In actual fact, we planned a lot, including how we plan to keep Bolt distracted at appropriate times.
And so yes, he brings up a map of where you can find Alpha Section, and says that it shouldn't be too hard to get what you're looking for while you're in there.
You've got that map on a very small screen at the moment, for awareness.
I shall switch over to the other screen. That will make it easier for you. Thanks there,
over
Jeremy.
Yep.
It says guard quarters are listed as 1. The storeroom is listed as 2. Area 3 is a hallway. Area 4 is an auditorium. Area 5 is a meeting room. Apparently, meeting room has a lot of text. Area 7 is office. Area 8 is a guard lounge. Area 9 is an isolation lab. You'll most likely find the orcs there, he says. Area 11 is an examination room. Area 12 is an elevator, and Area 13 is main security.
Alright.
And then we have detention area in 14, 15, and 16. So you might find some of the orcs there as well. So you might need to break into security. And 17 is also detention.
And the entrance point that he has available
Will come in via the sewer arrow. So it will come into the ventilation.
from the direction of the sewers.
Yeah.
And so like when we get to
Where's 11? Oh,
speaker
there it is.
section, we'll basically have access to some of the vents that we can then crawl through and work out our best point of entry. Is that the idea?
That is correct, though 1 and 2 are the only rooms that the troll can get out in.
Right.
Because once you go around the corner, it's too small for a troll.
Okay. What were 1 and 2 again?
Okay.
Nothing important like security or something, were they?
General guard quarters for number 1, so obviously that's going to be an interesting place to drop into. And number 2 is the storeroom. So it's up to you which one you prefer. You can get the drop on
bouncing
the
all over the map. So we're 2 I
guard room and storage room. This is where you come in.
Yeah, and you said guards were in which one, sorry?
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay, cool. Okay. So guards are number 1. We're coming in the sewers.
Yep.
We can choose to come in at number 2.
Everyone but the orc can continue around and drop in one of the other rooms.
But the orc has...
So the troll has to jump out in 1 or 2.
Okay.
He's too big to continue on.
So we could all come into 2.
You could.
But we're working our way towards 11.
You're thinking it's either in 11 or in the ones off 13.
So we'd check 11 on our way through, as there doesn't seem to be any other corridors that go all the way.
And does he know if this Dr. Carroll has a personal office, or is she just like one of the labs?
He believes that she has been incarcerated not long after discovering the metagene virus that you had extracted.
Okay, so she's no longer or never was a voluntary worker there. So.
Well, she's one of the leading voices in metagene research for the benefit of the non-humans. So he'll be quite surprised if she actually wanted to do something that would intentionally corrupt non-humans.
Mm.
And from what he's heard of the virus, it only works on non-humans.
Quick question. So captives were in 11 or 14?
14, 15, 16 and 17.
14, 15, 16, 17. No idea where the doctor is?
No.
Okay.
Possibly a captive.
Yep.
You would expect the doctor to be off room 13.
Yep.
Because that's where security is.
So there's security
That's the main security office.
In 13. So guards in 1, security in 13. I think I finally got everyone down.
And 14, 15, 16, 17 effectively containment cells of
Yeah.
security.
So since we've got a look in 14, 15, 16 and 17 anyway, we might find the doctor there. So I'm guessing we're coming through 2, or do you want to come in through 1 and surprise the guards?
Well, the point is we can at least get to the sewers and take a look through the ventilation grid and see, like 2 would seem to the obvious point, we can get in there quietly and keep the thing, but
I'd say start with that. We'll go into the sewers. Start with the plan of going through number 2. Hopefully stealth our way around to 11. And then head towards 13 and... yeah. Try not to die.
I think you actually put this in the wrong order.
Have I?
Try not to die. Try not to die comes in number 1.
Oh, right, I see.
Try not to be infected comes in under 2.
So it works on non-humans, and I'm a non-human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
There are no humans in the party.
Damn. Oh well.
Sucks to be us, right?
Yeah. I was just gonna be, sucks to be us. But let's go.
Well, you know what? If we die, we die. And onwards.
Life is rarely fun if you're not having some kind of adventure that might kill you, right?
Yeah, totally.
Preferably that adventure equals money.
But I won't be able to
actually
play
doing
with
this.
balls anymore. That doesn't sound exciting.
Well, you see, in doggy heaven, there are always balls, so you'll be fine.
But how do you know that? You haven't been to doggy heaven. You're doggy.
I'm a magical person, you know this, right? And you've known me for a very long time. Would I lie to you?
Both things are really, really hard about that.
I've only known you for an hour, and you look like the kind of person that would lie.
Thanks for helping me reassure our teammate there. You get to handle him next time.
But to be fair, okay, I suspect that Al's character sees a lot of herself in a lot of other people. So
This is
she
true.
assumes everyone lies.
Were I of a witty combat like you, Desrin?
Now, as far as time goes at the moment, are we now early hours of the morning?
Still in the evening. Approaching midnight.
Okay, I thought that we actually hit beta section around midnight, but obviously a bit earlier in the evening.
Probably was, in which case then you're approaching early morning. To be honest, time has gotten away from me.
Well, no, it was more than, for my purposes, I didn't really care what the time was. I was just thinking about, are we trying to get in there during a middle of the day type aspect, or is it a case of, hey, can we wait for the time to actually allow night shift and hopefully a lot less people to be around? But if we don't need to, like it's still early hours of the morning and people haven't started, then we might as well keep hitting it hard. And
To be honest, there's no mention of time of day for the previous session, so...
He does say that considering the amount of forces Aztechnology has running around outside the archaeology, he expects that any security inside are pulling double or triple shifts.
And they're also probably likely to be over in beta section where the explosion recently occurred, so they might still be investigating that area too. So, but yeah, so security should be a bit lighter, and because we're middle of the night, hopefully staffing should also be somewhat lighter. So,
Though they might have alarms going considering there was an explosion.
indeed. As we're on our way over there, typing to pieces, Desmond's going to, first of all, confirm that he has to have a connection, try to contact Tatiana.
Yep, you do
Assuming
get
that,
you do get a confirmation that Tatiana's online and does not recommend taking your package back into Aztechnology with you.
Sorry, who's Tatiana again?
His motorbike.
Tatiana might
Oh, right, yeah. What happened to my car?
amongst other things.
Still up at the docks.
As far as I know. My car's smart enough to have gotten herself out of there, though.
Well, yeah, certainly I'm Desmond's happy to be thinking that he will actually take the opportunity to try and hide the container and bits and pieces somewhere.
Well,
He doesn't necessarily trust it in Alan's hands directly, although Alan probably box it and pulls it over me immediately. But
Alan does point out to you he would rather keep that in a secure location in a fridge so it doesn't deteriorate further or get handled by someone thinking it's a toy.
Yeah. Worked on the idea that as much as Alan might have suggested or requested, the situation kind of makes that a demand, so Desmond's willing to hand it over and for safekeeping, but definitely plan on getting it back.
Well, you see him lock it in a fridge and he's got the key to it, so he says no one else will touch it until you get back. But yeah, so then talk to Tatiana and say, now, previously when we entered beta section, we had our companion Socal online with us to actually try and dampen any security responses electronically. I don't suppose you'd be able to provide any support in that matter, would you? While inside the place, you were outside of her contact.
Right, okay. Well,
They are shielded from external interference. Unless, of course, you can run a wire from the outside inside and stay connected by a physical wire.
Not sure that'll be all that effective for very long. I don't know about connection to it easily unless we travel all the way from this shopping centre.
Well, all you need to do is have it outside the arcology and run the wire through to a comlink, which you can then connect to.
I see. Effectively, if we have a wide antenna that takes us outside.
Yeah, pretty much. And you get shown the specs on how to put it together.
Okay, that could potentially at least be long enough to get us to effectively Route 2 or something and allow a connection.
Well, it should allow you connections when you're inside because they're not as protected inside as they are from going inside to outside.
Well, certainly if Tatiana provides the information as to how to do it and whether or not they could all inquire from Alan as to whether or not such equipment might be available or whether Dean's going to realise he's actually got that equipment because Tatiana thought ahead. He will actually see if he can achieve that sort of thing because, hey, it's always nice to have backup plans if alternate options fall through.
Okay, so you think with the help of Shadowstar you might be able to put it together? As she's the current brains of the group.
Absolutely. And
I thought I was only here for my looks.
But yeah, so they could also say to Tatiana as well. And apparently, it might be handy to have an extra copy or two of this data that we collected last time. Do you think you'll be able to coach our busy? Possibly you'll have the opportunity to make a copy of it, even if no record.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
But again, Declan's not entirely certain what Tatiana can and can't do at the moment. Always more thinking that there's
Kind of like me and my car. I'm always asking, can my car do that? And Martin it's like no. Or, yes, actually. I'm like, nice to know.
Okay, so with the help of Shadowstar, you managed to rig a extender for your comlink so you can come out of the building.
Marvelous.
Nice.
Obviously, but how far into the building does that mean we have to trail some wires?
You only have to trail it through the hole.
Yeah, okay, so basically just leave it in the, it becomes an extender that gets access into the complex after we get it beyond the Faraday field.
So yeah, from a technical perspective, you're breaching the Faraday field. Once you've done so, you can then communicate.
Happy with that.
Sounds good.
Marvelous.
Alright.
Which would have been handy earlier.
It's always handy earlier. It never is.
So, Al's character, which I keep forgetting the name of because I'm that great at remembering things. So, Tarlin, I've got down as.
Tarlin, yeah.
Tarlin, yes. She's been given a gun and a comlink in case you lose people.
Okay.
Declan's happy to give her his digits.
His what?
His com number.
Oh, right. Okay.
Apparently his character's a little smitten.
I see. Alright. Yeah.
Pretty elf after all.
Okay. Alright. Is this because Desrin rolled badly? Or because Tarlin has such high charisma?
High charisma.
Oh, okay. You've got such high charisma. That's actually hard to do.
Hey, Shadowstar might do the same thing for the same reason.
We'll see.
Okay, so alright, I've got a comlink.
And a pistol.
Yep.
Just
And a
on
pistol.
equipment, even though it's a side to side, I just don't want to forget, and I'm eventually going to lose this page. On the game for the 8th of February, you did promise Flogger power gauntlets at some point, so maybe just write that in your notes.
It's down, but
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's just that this would not be the place you could get them.
No, I understand that. It's just that I wanted to not forget that I was looking up my car's name, got distracted by a note about the power gauntlets, and maybe I should mention that.
Oh, good. I just want to let you go. Okay, so yes, it only takes you about half an hour to reach the arcology, which is a lot less time than you imagined because it took you hours to get there in the first place. Seems Jenny is a very good guide.
Well, yeah. Declan's not entirely sure whether he's happy that it was the lead up is now over.
As you're psyching yourself up to get in there, you realise you're there.
Indeed.
Okay. Oh, wait, am I still like making a decision about what I do?
No, you're coming along with the ride.
And before you can decide if you're really going to do it, so Tarlin has found herself outside an arcology of a major corporation about to break in before she realizes, does she really want to do this? And realizes it's a little late.
Perfect. That sounds like me.
Yeah.
And then there's like Bolt sitting right next to our new friend, just wagging his tail. He's super excited.
I think
He has a new
Els
friend.
looking for
We're going
clues for
somewhere
I'm
new.
roleplay.
humble.
Just bathroom.
So Jenny turns to Tarlin and says, so have you broken into many places?
Yeah, okay, obviously. Why? Like, you haven't?
No, I try to stay away from being noticed on cameras and stuff. You know, people shoot back at you. A lot of people die doing this sort of stuff, so it's left for the professional, she says.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not a professional. I mean, depends on who dies, you know.
Oh, she pats you on the shoulder and says, well, good luck then, and she thumbs up and says, I'll come back when I see you guys getting out.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very good talent broken into many places, particularly Hearts.
Oh, absolutely.
So yes, Desren has the
And Wallet.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the occasional trust fund too.
Although broken into might not necessarily be quite the appropriate term for those if they open it for you.
So yes, Desren, do you apply the one of the last of your applications?
Okay, so basically, yeah, if we've got the barrier that Jenny's saying is the closest point, we will apply the catalyst, whatever it is, type stuff, softens the wall, and it happens very quickly, doesn't it?
It does. It makes
Activated.
it look like chewing gum, and
So
feel
we
like
will
it too.
ensure that we're into our enviro suits before applying it then.
It was so much easier coming out in the Enviro suit.
Sorry?
It was so much easier getting out with the Enviro suit.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah. Do we need to, do we know how thick the wall is at this point?
You'd think the wall is maybe about 1 to 2 meters thick at this point.
So about the same as what it was for Area B?
Yeah, the entire outer shell of Aztechnology is expected to be about 1 to 2 meters thick.
Okay.
Because it's one of their selling points. Come live here, you'll be safe.
Yeah. Okay then. So we'll apply that. Declan will say, hey, yep. I'll go through first to have a bit of a look see and make certain we've actually come out into the air vents again, because it's a good spot to look through. And he will try and then place the booster station on the other, like in the vents on the other side, and take a look at what might be the thing and confirm we're not actually going to be hit immediately, and then invite the others through.
Okay. You place your booster and it looks as if it is safe in here. The ventilation shaft actually looks a lot cleaner than the other one did. So you don't think they've actually had an outbreak here.
Either that or the ventilation system is also maintained and there's some sort of system that runs through and protects it, and that could be a problem, but hey, we'll go with the former. And so in that case then, he will signal back to the others to start coming through, while he moves a bit further forward to the clearly he looks at the event and confirm where we are, and the map that Alan provided actually holds true.
Okay, having a look in there, you see that the room 2 is indeed a storeroom. You can see a lot of maintenance material, electronic parts, chemical containers, everything stacked neatly in there, and the floor is even swept clean. You see a technician in a white lab coat seem to be taking inventory in that room. And in the room next door, you see several bunks, 2 of them with sleeping guards on them, snoring away. Hanging on a peg next to the bunks are pistol shoulder holsters, and making you realize that they carry tasers with them by the shape of the handles. And in the center of the room is a security guy looking like he's reading some sort of magazine on his data pad.
Okay, well, obviously looking through both those vents, as soon as I see someone actually on the other side, it will be the momentary backup and confirm that I have been spotted, and then quietly look forward more carefully and examined. So presumably I haven't been seen, so that's good. So in room 2 there was 1 technician type, and in room 1 there's 2 sleeping guards and 1 awake guard. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Basically, shuffle back to the entry point again, where the others hopefully have basically got through the goo by now.
Yep, they've all gotten through by now.
Let them know the options. There wasn't really any point going further because we couldn't have gone through. But I suppose in the small events, did that potentially give any access to what might be visible in, say, room 4?
Okay. Bringing it up.
Did that have that visibility?
So having a look in room 4, you can see that it is a large meeting hall with several rows of folding chairs, some odd-looking equipment in one of the corners, and a podium on a dais. The room's lights are dim, and a low sound seems to be coming from the equipment. Don't see anyone in there at all.
Okay. And I guess we go a bit further forward to where the hallway 3 comes across. There's no one visible in the hallway?
No one visible in the hallway at this stage. So you do see that in room 1 there's about 20 bunks that are unoccupied, meaning that they're definitely understaffed in here at the moment. And when you look in the corridor of room 3, you can see signs up saying lockdown in progress.
Okay. Come back to the others, let them know what we've seen, found, discuss. Do we want to try and get into room 2 and try and quietly take out a technician, or do we want to take the opportunity to try and take out 3 guards before we have to deal with anything else?
I think take down the guards. Can't do both, I presume.
You could technically do both, but then you'd be splitting the party, which is
splitting the party's never a good idea.
But okay, like the option of doing potentially we could take out the technician, allowing us to then approach room 1 from 2 directions at the same time.
Yeah, that's actually. This is why you do all the strategy. Why do I have all the intelligence?
Because he's got more cunning.
Yeah, that's true.
Dangerous, you've got 3 class.
In terms of voting, I say that one.
Good time.
That one. If we're putting it down to a vote, that's what I'm going for. Do we have a Bolt, Flogger, and Talon with us?
We do.
Okay, cool.
They are in the. They are in the duckworks with you.
Cool, awesome.
Flogger happy to snap neck with fist.
Let's not kill the clinician. It's probably not their fault. They're there, maybe. I don't know.
The problem is, if we've got any way to take them out quietly, they
True.
might surrender immediately. But,
True. Does that mean you're offering to just shoot them all?
well, that wouldn't be so quiet.
No. You don't have silencers and things like that?
Not on the equipment we bought for this mission, because we had to go with generic stuff that we could leave behind.
Fair enough.
Does that nothing on them? Do they care about if they have to toss into the bin?
Fair enough. Alright. Well, Flogger...
And I'm assuming that half of the big stuff we had already tossed into the bin, but Alan collected it along with our enviro suits.
Yep. Who's the most effective at killing quietly then?
Getting punched in the face or getting bit.
Well, I've got a gun and a knife. I'm happy to use my knife. See how that goes.
I mean, it's pretty effective when you bite someone.
Possibly if we send Bolt through first.
Yeah.
He's probably more agile to
And stronger.
get through the vent quickly,
Mm.
and should be able to subdue the technician fairly easily.
Yep.
And with the intent of Flogger coming up close behind to, if necessary.
Yep.
They're
also-
will actually move forward and monitor the event into room 2, so that if there is noise from the technician and the guards respond,
Yep.
then Jennifer might be able to shoot them from the security of the vault, the event, to help handle that factor. So yes, I would
Do you
suggest-
want me to monitor the vent into room 1 then with the same
well,
idea?
I was going to say that if Bolt and Flogger and Shadowstar all take out, head into room 2 with the technician, on the idea that if the technician does give in immediately, then I prefer Shadowstar available to actually talk and stuff.
Yep.
Right?
And does that...
Unless Tarwin wants to take on that role.
I was going to say, wouldn't Talon be the better person in terms of talking down the technician?
Well, from a game perspective, absolutely.
Yeah.
From what we know about Talon so far, from Desmond's planning perspective...
I was going to say, Desmond has a crush on her, though. Can she not do any wrong?
Well, no,
Forgive
from
the triple negatives.
From Desmond's planning perspective, not knowing what her talents are, aside from the obvious ones,
Yep.
he'd be looking to Shadowstar to actually do the talking, and then Talon should actually stay with Desmond up in the vent.
Oh, I see.
back up in security.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
Bolt is slightly disappointed he doesn't get to bite this dude's neck.
biting may happen yet, so don't get too disappointed.
They did suggest you subdue. They're not very good on the details.
Arlen is disappointed she does not get to witness said biting.
Well,
Okay, if Bolt has an understanding of exactly or clarify what the role, what the expectation is, hey, you can bite the technician's neck, try not to bite down too hard straight away.
Also, we don't...
At the moment, though, you know.
Also, just talking from a strategy point of view, we don't know for absolute sure that Dr. Owen is off in a cell right now. The very technician in that lab could well be the good doctor. So subduing without killing would be preferred.
And I guess also, Dr. Carroll, I'm assuming is female, Do we know if the technician will get male? Or
Yeah.
female?
You can recognise it as being male.
Oh, in that case, we're all good.
Okay.
Unless, of course, he uses female pronouns.
He could not do that, but again, Declan made the assumption, however erroneous it might be, that Dr. Carroll is female. So,
Yeah.
Alright, so in terms of making
and
a...
besides, I'm sure we'll be able to look at the lab code and have a name tag on, won't it? That's guaranteed.
Well, I can buy a counter. Wait,
Well,
how do I
from
read?
Declan's perspective,
How does one read? What is
from
it
Declan's
then?
perspective, that's why Shadow starts going with you to monitor and control the situation.
I'm to die.
Alright, so it's Bolt, Flogger, me, you're staying with Talon,
Okay, so,
and then following after chaos or non-chaos ensues. Alright.
and I guess the follow-on part of that is assuming that you do manage to take out or subdue the technician quickly and quietly, is the intent then that we are going to try and take out the guards by you guys coming back through the main door?
Well,
or is it the intent of just leaving them sleeping dogs lie and moving off down the corridor somewhere else?
I'd rather stealth through rather than attract attention because, well, I guess,
Happy with that?
yeah, stealthing through is my main preference because the earlier we raise attention, the more chance these guys can radio someone and more people can come.
Yep.
As they're currently not on duty, it may also be strategically sound to pacify them on the way.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just debating because Desron said that earlier, and I'm not against doing that. So why don't we go with?
Well, and in fact, I know you said there was gun holster and presumably radios and stuff like that were hung on the wall.
Yeah.
But presumably the one that was sitting at the table actually has his on.
He has a helmet on the table beside him, and most of these guys communicate using their helmets.
Yep.
Alright, so...
Okay, there's certainly a chance to actually eliminate him without coming through, so I'm recommending if you guys can take out subdue the technician
Yep.
quickly and quietly, come out of the door, and
Let's do that.
aim to quietly open the door into the guard room, and just as the door starts to move, Declan will aim to actually
Yep. Let's do that. Let's go.
try and get through without, try and get to the door and get in there, subdue the guard before he reacts. If he doesn't, Declan's going to be ready to shoot him if he's going to react first.
Shadow's of the opinion we can only plan so much, and if Bolt's not going through there to shut down that technician in the next few seconds, she is.
So, what is Bolt's stealth?
What does stealth come under again?
Agility.
Oh, okay. My agility's
I
better.
have the level in a... Sorry, Josh is just getting me out.
Let's see.
One yellow, 2 green.
1 yellow, 2 green. Okay, so Bolt drops down into the room
Yeah!
with a success and an advantage. So, landing down, you get a blue dice on your next roll. What would you like to do? He hasn't noticed you.
I would like to try subduing him without killing him for now.
Okay, so you'd like to make a brawl attack. Okay.
While he's doing that, presumably Flogger is starting into.
Okay, so you successfully hit him. And he crumples with one blow.
Cool. I sit on him like a good guard doggy.
I give
And
Bolt.
make sure he doesn't make a sound.
I give Bolt a Scooby snack. And
Yay.
move through to
I believe Flogger is the next one who is dropping down, so Flogger gets to make a stealth roll.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Good luck with that.
Flogger does have stealth.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, I'm the same as you.
Okay.
Are you?
Okay.
Stealthy party.
So, Flogger got no result, which means a failure, as Flogger comes down bringing part of the ventilation system with him, with a loud clanging, banging.
Oops.
The guy at the table reading the magazine turns, starts to pick up his helmet. What does Desrin do?
He starts to pick up his helmet and discovers that he really wished he had his helmet on already, because he's about to get a bullet through the eyes.
Where did the guy sitting
So-
at the table come through?
So the security, the lounge that's right next to where you are.
Oh, so you're talking about in room 1. Okay,
in room one,
alright.
yes.
Because Flogger made noise,
Mm-hmm.
he heard the noise, so he may have just been putting his helmet on to go investigate and not fall immediately, but he's not willing to actually take that chance.
It's okay, I just mixed up what rooms people were in again.
All good. So what was Desrin's light ranged?
He has 5 dice, one of them yellow.
Okay. And it is close because of where you are, and you are elevated, so I'm giving you a blue dice as a bonus.
And then I was about to say, if there's any major penalties type stuff, if you might modify it or what, we'll go with it.
So yes, you fire off a shot, and his head literally explodes.
Okay.
You don't think that's going to be a problem, as you realise bits of bone fragments of him has landed on the sleeping guys, waking them up. So at
Well,
this point,
probably also the candle, the pistol might also wake them up too.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with the pistol.
I presume Talon's less disappointed because now she's seen someone's head be blown off, rather than just missing out on the doggy thumping on someone.
Exactly. You know me so well.
Okay, so at this stage, people get to choose.
If you were to use another action to try and get through the vent while the others are trying to move, that would actually be a separate manoeuvre, wouldn't it?
That would be. And basically, you are holding for something, and that happens. So now I'm going to get people to do initiative to see if the guards get to do something beforehand. So, people get to roll their cool check, because they're the ones who have been doing the ambush, which for most people is their presence, which means for Talon, she has 5 dice in that check, showing just how cool she is under circumstances.
You're ice cold.
So ended up with 2 successes and 4 advantages, so there's a good chance that a party member will get to go first. So with initiative, doesn't matter who rolls the initiative, you can actually give it to any other party member, as long as you each act once in the round.
Yeah.
So what is Desrin's call?
Desrin gets 3 dice, one of them yellow, and he's going to buy a success.
Okay. So he takes a strain to do so, or 2 strains?
I think it's only 1 strain. Alright. Yeah, one strain per success. So. I'm assuming that we covered strain while we were in the mall, but not necessarily wounds. Is that right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Well, normally if you'd rested overnight. But I'll say you rested enough for you to recover it.
Thank you. Okay.
Otherwise it'd be really rough.
I'm also happy that if we didn't, but before just I think, oh, hang on, yeah, how does that work?
So what is Shadow Star? It's normally overnight you get
2.
back all your strain. So 2 green or 2?
Just, I've got 2 in presence.
2 in presence. Okay. So you get 2 successes, which is not too bad. What is Flogger's call?
And have your socks blown off. 1 green dice.
Oh.
Consider my socks blown.
Probably 2 successes off that.
I was going to say, I can determine wind direction.
What is Bolt's call?
I think it's either 1 or 2. Josh, can you confirm, please?
It's actually 2 dice.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have more prisons than that.
And apparently not that great. So 4 advantages for you, and then the guard.
You feel good about everything.
I feel good about that, though. It's no matter how many trained to get back here.
That's okay. The guard's got Triumph, but it doesn't look like they got anything
No,
else.
they didn't get a triumph, they got an advantage.
Oh, that's an
The
advantage?
triumph means that they would automatically go first.
What's a Triumph?
That's right. There's no yellow dice there, so I'm not.
Oh, okay. Alright. Sorry, I mistook the fancy green symbol for a fancy yellow symbol.
Okay, so who would like to go first? This is probably where Desrin could show off his dazzling skill with the pistol.
I think we should do that not just so that Desrin can show off, but because he's more likely to shoot everybody. And this is not a bad outcome.
Do we know if there's going to be more than one of us going before the guards?
You're not sure.
We don't actually know initiative order yet, do we?
You normally don't know initiative order until it's gone through 1 round.
How do that? Declan will aim to take another shot then, work on the idea that the others are not going to get around to get into the room.
Makes sense.
So he will take a shot at whatever appears to be the most alert guard, wake up from the sleep. And get an extra boost because with quick strike you get someone who has not yet acted.
And did you want to aim as well?
He's never going to be able to shoot twice, is he?
He is not.
Like shoot 2 different targets.
Just watching the way that
Yeah.
rolled and almost rolled all the way over, but the height you were doing it at.
He'll aim and go for removing the threat.
Okay.
Hopefully the others can take out the other one because, hey, he doesn't really want to run into the room when someone's about to wake up and shoot because, hey, he's got a bit of cover at the moment.
Okay, so you got 3 successes and 2 advantages. So you hit him and he goes down. He stops waking up in the middle of trying to figure out what's going on. So, would someone else like to go next? This would be where Tarlin could shoot from the vents.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yes. Tell me what to do.
So your character has 2 dice in agility, and you have 1 rank in ranged light. So that means the firearm you're carrying, you're fairly skilled with. And
Okay.
your
And
character.
you've just been demonstrated just like Declan showing you exactly how it's done. So you get a boost on it because he can use the 2 of these advantages to get rid of 1 strain. How many advantages do you have?
You had 2 advantages.
Yep.
That's right. He'll give that for a boost for, in this case, Harlan.
This sounds good.
So, and you can aim as well, giving yourself another boost. And
Okay.
boost in this case that's a blue dice, represents a boost, which is a positive effect on your check.
Okay.
Whereas a setback
Alright.
is a black dice, which is the opposite.
Don't feel intimidated after having seen Declan's spectacular sharpshooting.
I think
So-
one's just one down.
But
Okay.
so you using Desrin as a guideline, you ricochet the shot around the room until it hits the guy in the back of the head. Just as he's looking up at Desrin with the what's going on here, and then he pretty much slumps back down as if nothing happened.
And of course, with that display of expert marksmanship, Tyler just got even further up in Declan's estimations.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, that is not gonna help you with your crush.
So the special symbol you got on the yellow dice there is called a triumph, which means something amazing can happen.
Okay. So, alright, so hold on. How many guards are we tackling? It's 2 right now, or
Right.
is one already dead?
You have killed all 3 guards in the guard room with 3 shots.
Between
Oh,
you
wait.
and Desrin.
Oh, right. Okay. Wait, so, what can I do now? I don't
You
know.
can take 2 strain, which if you take too much strain, you knock yourself unconscious to drop into the room, or you can wait to see what happens next.
No,
Okay,
we're
so
gonna
at this
drop into
stage,
the room.
well, at this stage you'd be better off waiting, because you can drop into the room next turn and you won't take any strain or concern.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also gives you the opportunity to concern that, hang on, if someone's about to run through that door that's not our friend,
Yeah.
you don't just want to be exposed to the room.
And getting strain and wounds back is not easy. So if you don't have to spend strain, it's better not to.
Alright.
Like it's a matter of delaying for a few seconds, really, in the context of the
And
game.
in this case, because Desrin doesn't quite know you yet, he's likely to put his hand on your arm to just make sure you're not going anywhere just yet.
And
Or
so,
probably you are.
in the vents, Shadowstar can see the.
I didn't hear that, Jeremy.
Shadowstar can see the gunfire happening next door.
Yep.
Especially
Okay.
considering Tarlin has fired from the vents.
Yep.
Alright, so if I don't take any action now, this score right here on the dice board is like something I can use in like my next move. Is
Well,
that what you're saying?
It was used this turn.
Oh, and
Yeah,
you-
that's what your
yeah.
spectacular shot was.
Oh, amazing. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
sweet. I sit and wait.
So would Shadowstar, Flogger, or Bolt like to go next?
I'm surprised
I have
Bolt
a
hasn't.
question.
Yep.
Well, no, that was going to be my question.
What was your question?
My question was, do I hear this gunfire, and do I recognize it as friendly guns?
Well, all of you here in the other room hear the gunfire. Only Shadowstar recognizes it as friendly guns, having seen it from the vents. To Bolt and to Flogger, it's just gunfire.
But
Okay.
depending upon how much Bolt and Flogger were listening to the discussion that we went in, you were aware that Desmond and Talon were ready to shoot the guard if someone made noise, like falling through the fence, like Flogger just did.
Which we did explain that to you.
To understand that explanation.
I did explain that to you separately, but yeah.
Or for a fact, listen.
Flogger, not so sure, but
I did qualify it right at the start of my statement. If it was listened,
True.
or if there was attention paid.
anyway, so I'd say Bolt would naturally go next because Bolt's usually
Okay, so Bolt,
faster.
you're sitting on an unconscious person. What do you do?
I hear the gunfire, but I'm not sure if it's friendly or not.
Do you run towards the sound?
Can I intercede with a friendly, being able to see Bolt and
You
see?
can, yes.
Or is that destroying her move entirely and
You
using up
can,
my
you
move?
can yell out. Oh, I had asked who wanted to go next. It could have been any of you.
But yeah, I
Okay.
can't yell without taking
Shadowstar-
my move though.
Shadowstar could actually take the action, jump out of the vent, tell Flogger and Bolt, yep, we're moving, and head towards the door.
Sorry, I think with my intellect I'm probably going to intercede and stop that accident from happening. Because there's going to be an accident sooner or later, and I'd just like to delay that.
Fine.
Okay, I will move through the vent and make sure that Flogger and Bolt don't go ahead of checking out what's going on.
Okay, so you drop down into the room and tell them what.
Friendly fire. Let's try and see who else is coming first and who's still up first. I'm actually going to send Bolt. Do I know how successful Desrin and Talon were? I'm guessing
no,
I don't.
You just saw them
I
firing.
just saw them fire. I'll tell Bolt to check the other room and attack anybody that's not friendly. Attack anyone that's not Desrin and Talon, or the good doctor, or no. Wait a minute. I really need more words today. I want to put things into context for people. My
That's right.
arm
If
is
you
just
tell
killing me
Bolt-
right now.
If you tell Bolt to go to the other room, then I'm sure he'll work out what to do from there.
Yeah.
Go play.
I want Bolt to check the other room, but to stay stealthy, unless absolutely needed. Well, I check the hallway. Is that alright?
Paul's a bit apprehensive about going towards the gunfire, but he will do it.
Technically, you're going away from the gunfire,
Yeah.
Because it was in the vents above you.
Mm.
and you're
Oh,
going
right.
through the door at the front.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine.
Of course, the intent is you're then coming back into the door where the gunfire was going into, but don't worry about that aspect of it.
Okay.
Bolt probably doesn't realise that.
I don't know if it's too much, but having asked Bolt to check the other room, am I able to go into the hallway and see who's coming? And tell Flogger to stay close
you
behind?
could, but that require a second maneuver and take 2 strain.
Am I back at full strain?
You have 2 strain at the moment.
I thought I only had 1 strain.
Well, you've taken 2 from actions you've been doing.
Okay, alright, that's okay. I need to just fix my strain thingy. So I'm down to 10 out of 12?
Yes. I'm only keeping track of how much you've taken, not your maximum.
Yeah, no. I keep track of my maximum, but I had only taken 1 off my strain, thinking that I'd only lost 1. No, that's good to know. Because I won't take any, but I just I'm hoping Flogger will follow me.
Okay. So Bolt, what's Bolt doing now you've been told to do so? What does Bolt do?
Bolt will follow the instructions and stealth out of the room and go find our friends in the other room.
Bolt is defeated by that old adversary called the door.
Oh, shit me. Is the door
To be
closed?
fair,
Yes.
Bolt hasn't come across many doors that are still there.
I should have sent Flogger.
Bolt kind of comes up to the door and then kind of like tilts his head and stares at it.
It
Ariadne would
doesn't
like less
open for you.
pain.
There's no handle, no keypad.
Was I able to get out in the hall or not without spending strain?
You weren't without spending strain.
Okay, fair enough. That's all good.
But that's
I
right.
wasted my
As long
move,
as they're
basically.
fixed
No,
the door.
your move was to get into the room. That was an actual move. And then to tell them. At least they didn't try to do other things. So yes, Flogger, I'm thinking Bolt's looking at you expectantly at the moment.
Yes. Yes.
No. He's looking at the door expectantly, willing it to do something because it's not moving.
Willing it to disappear.
Yeah. Like it's not moving. It's not doing the things doors do. Thinking of automatic doors.
Flogger will walk over and rip the door off the hinges.
Okay, what is his athletics check?
High, if I remember.
One yellow and 5 green.
Okay. That becomes a that. That becomes a that. So Flogger feels really good about himself, but the door is stronger than he is.
You're kidding me.
That's it wasn't the
He's got a
best
super
roll.
door.
And there's a humming sound as you're trying to pull the door.
A humming sound? Good thing it's Desrin's go next.
Okay, and amusingly, this would be when the guards would get to go. But they didn't get a chance because someone managed to take them out of the picture.
No, because Talon.
And now you're currently out of combat because other things could have happened.
Nice.
And so yes, this is where Desrin realizes that the lockdown message he saw means that probably all the doors are magnetically locked.
Well, that's a good thing, because that means you need to come out through room 2.
Flogger feels insulted about this and will continue to rip his door off its hinges.
We should have set that shit from the start.
Desmond, meanwhile, is going through the vents into the guard room to get down, make way for Talon. and also double check the guards are not going to be responding any further.
You go for
And also pop in their weapons.
So yes, you gather yourself up 3 tasers, and you hear this wrenching sound from next door as you realise that at this point, Flogger has gained himself a open door. Probably not taken the door because they all seem to slide into the wall.
But still, I managed to open up a locked down door.
You did.
I was going to try, but I wish I could have kept the door.
And the thing that makes you notice this the most is there's sparks coming out of the door near you, and it also releases. Apparently, he damaged the circuit.
Okay, I was about to ask whether Tatiana might want to help us out, but obviously she's already done the job. A quick search of the guard room. There's nothing else of interest in there from our perspective.
He does have a magazine on guns and their recreational uses.
Oh, well, Dick will pocket that. Light reading later on. I'm sure he probably wrote half the article, but hey.
But you do realise, considering it's a data pad, there's a good chance they might have traces in it.
Oh, okay, yes. Let's go. We're looking at electronic things, very nice, of course. Yeah. Not the curious, what it's good for.
Yeah, you're always hesitant to walk off with anything corporate because they tend to keep track of most things.
Yeah. Okay, he's gone for the weapons. He's purely for, hey, extra options when you download it at this stage.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not planning on walking out with them either, so.
Okay.
Tasers.
So yes, the 5 of you meet out in the hallway.
Can I just ask, are we in the hallway outside rooms 1 and 2 at the moment? Okay, cool.
Are there, presumably, the hallway still clear at the present time?
Well, hallway is clear, but you do see that doors 8 and 9 are slowly opening with sparks coming off them.
Can you point out
Gagman will indicate the team, particularly Flogger and Bolt, to look into effectively like the closest of the rooms. And he's going to move up to the corner where he can cover the corridor in case something comes out of 9 while others are going into 8.
Okay, so as you're walking past 8, you see that...
Well, he's not going past 8, he's just going up to the corner, like in front of room 2.
Yep.
So he's got a bit of cover from anyone in that vertical hallway. While Bolt and Flogger are looking into room 8.
Okay, looking into room 8.
What did I buy that I was sitting on?
Well, he's unconscious and you were sitting on him.
Okay.
He didn't have anything interesting on him except for the data pad that broke when you landed on him.
Since we don't have initiative, can I go in and just tie him up?
You can. And Flogger notices 2 guys heading towards you from room 8 with their helmets under their arm.
So dressed in security type uniforms?
They look to be in security uniforms, but Flogger doesn't really notice such details.
Does Flogger tell us there's people?
What does Flogger do?
Could Talon maybe step forth and...
Flogger and was the one that was at
sorry.
that point.
Yep. She's still back behind the corner?
She was with Desra.
Okay, where's
So
Desra?
we were
Give me a
told.
moment.
So we were told that. I'm trying to think of what a dumb flogger would do at this point in time. We were told that anything other than an orc and a doctor were friendlies.
Yeah.
We're not friendly.
We're not friendly.
You were told
so
orcs and
the orc
doctors.
the orc and the doctor are friendlies. Basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything other than that,
Yep.
not friendly.
Okay,
And
cool.
these are not orcs, and definitely not doctors.
And they're dressed as security guards, if you recognise that sort of
Well,
They're,
no.
they're in matching
Well,
costumes.
But not orc and not doctor. Blogger runs up, grabs both their heads and crashes them together.
Okay, give me a
Nice.
brawling check. So that is for you.
4 yellow, 2 green.
Oh.
A lot of my initial experience.
Do they have any head left?
Oof.
I would dare say there's no heads left.
Okay, so Flogger, you see Flogger dash into the room, and you hear the sound of breaking melons.
That's a memory I want to keep.
And Flogger finds that there's a table with cards all over it. He can get his own deck of cards here to do snap with.
Blogger will back pocket the cards, but he's more impressed with the fact that he's making a deck out of doors.
Now you have a full example.
The deck of cards is useful because what he can do, he can put a card on each door, and then he knows how many doors he still needs to get. If he's got cards left, he hasn't got enough doors.
Too sophisticated.
Mm-hmm. Actually, rather than being a deck of cards, that's exactly what Blogger thinks it is. I was like, door labels.
You collect all the door labels.
Beautiful.
And Desrin
In
sees
the
the
meantime-
two twitching headless bodies on the ground nearby.
Is there anything coming out of room 9 at that point?
Out of room 9. Looking in there seem to be 3 dead bodies.
Desmond thinking, hang on, Flogger's still in 8, Bolt beside.
So one of them looks like they. Let's see, what's your character's medicine?
Yeah. 2 green for his intelligence. Or intellect.
Okay, you succeeded with 2 strain.
Okay.
You were able to look at this and go, you believe one of the males killed himself at some point, and another male and female in there looked like they were infected by a similar sort of virus that you saw the others in beta section, but they died from many bullet holes.
Mm-hmm.
Even you have trouble counting that many.
Does it look like the bullet came from any particular direction?
Every direction.
So we're
Desmond takes a quick look around the room, make sure we haven't got some sort of automated fire security system in the room. But otherwise, backing out.
That doesn't look as if anything was fired from in here. There's no splat marks anywhere as if they...
okay, the bodies have been dumped in here.
Yeah, the bodies
Yeah.
have been dumped in.
Okay. Yeah.
And you think it was an isolation room, and when the door controls broke, all the doors opened.
Okay. Desmond's again thinking, well, I hope this chem cookie is actually still
Viable.
approved.
Yeah.
Looking in room 10, you can see what appears to be an isolation room with bullet holes everywhere and blood's splattered all over all the walls.
Sorry, did
Okay.
you say room 10?
Room 10, yes.
Yeah.
Next one round. So you think this is where they were shot?
Right. Well, I don't think we need to go in there because I'm not seeing Dr. Carroll or Orks.
And the door looks as if it had been compromised as well, so it doesn't look as if it would have been considered a isolation room anymore since the door itself had been damaged.
Okay, well, we're going to, in this case, the other aspect is to continue to move quite quickly as where we can.
Yep.
So we're aiming to get back towards the long corridor, which it doesn't look like there's any way straight down to the room 13 area, except around the side, is that right?
That is correct. And rushing past, you see in room 4, cowering in the back of a room, rocking in place, someone who is hidden from the vents.
Okay. Are they orc?
They are not orc, but they're wearing a lab coat.
I was going to say, this question was, are they wearing a lab coat?
They are wearing a lab coat. And they are female.
While Desmond continues to cover the corridor and encourages Bolt and Flogger to just move a little bit further down, watching for anyone coming towards us.
I'm going to draw the short straw. I'm
Shadow
guessing.
Star can have a look in and see if there's room 5 access or things like that for the door, the window. And if Tarwin can talk to the frightened technician,
Yeah.
we may find out whether or not it's actually Dr. Carroll or not.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, what can I just ask her in, my smooth talking, doctor voice? Who she, no, I don't know, can I just say, who hurt you? Who are you?
Okay, so as you walk in, you can hear her sobbing in the corner, and she seems to be just muttering the same word over and over again of, I'm sorry.
I just yell out a warning not to get too close until you can ascertain that's actually the doctor. Because there's a virus in this section.
Alright, can I ask her, why are you sorry?
Okay. Your character has some charm going for her, so she can actually be quite good at convincing people stuff. Just unfortunately, this person has a mental break. Okay, so from a perspective of convincing her, she seems to scream looking in your direction. You end up taking 3 strain from such a loud screaming.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's ear-piercingly high, almost inhumanly high. And you see, looking in her eyes, there's nobody home there. Her brain's completely gone. And on her lab coat, she has assistant.
Okay, well, she needs to die, obviously, because she's a risk to everyone. Screaming too loudly. She's obviously not the doctor.
I'd suggest a bullet.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, so without having to aim, you just pull the trigger and she slumps over with a loud bang.
Yeah.
David's thinking, interesting.
Well, she could have been infectious either way. The kindest thing was to put her down.
And hey, she might be renaming her firearm therapy.
So while that's going on, do we see anyone else coming down the corridor?
Okay.
Or Shadow Star look into room 5?
So rooms 5, 6, and 7, the doors are still closed.
No windows?
You have a look in the window and you see that in room 5 is what appears to be a conference table with 2 guys sitting at the table. They look a little... they look like executives here instead of any form of guard or technician.
Not orcs, not a female doctor. Moving on. Unless they come
door,
out.
If the door's still closed and therefore they're not being let out, then
Yep. I'm not letting them out.
It is currently closed and they are not getting out.
Okay, moving on to the next place.
Okay. So moving on to the next room. This one appears to be a conference room. Where is
Seems to
it?
be a few of those for a laboratory.
No, an office actually. You can see
right,
many a small desk, swivel chairs, a big maroon covered couch, and a small table.
No name on the door, no nameplate on the desk.
And it seems to have some sort of large dog sitting in the middle of the room, staring directly at the door.
Okay, but nothing else in the room?
Nothing else in the room that you can see, but the dog does have an Aztechnology collar on it, and the dog looks to be big enough to take down Flogger if Flogger was to go into the room.
Yeah, we don't want to go into that room.
And as long as again the door's shut, the
Yep.
dog's probably not coming out of the room. So
Yep.
we'll keep moving on. Desmond's happy will effectively be towards the back of the party at that point, with Flogger and Bolt towards the front of the corridor, and Shadowstar and Talon in the middle doing the part of looking in rooms. Because Desmond's basically looking back to ensure that if anything comes out, i.e. those two executives, and all the door opens for the attack dog, then he's ready to shoot. So.
Okay, moving along to room 7, looking in there, you can see what appears to be the prettiest Aztechnology person you have ever seen.
Not as pretty as Talon,
A secret one.
Even his clothes look amazing on him.
Oh, okay, so it's a bloke.
It is a bloke.
Not an orc, not a female doctor.
Not an orc, not a female doctor.
Moving on.
He seems to be working on some sort of computer system.
Just moving on. Looking for orcs and doctors. Well, if your character wants to do something, you're welcome to. This is what Shadowstar is doing.
You also see two guys in jaguar patterned clothing pointing at the door and at you.
What?
And you can see that they have some extremely expensive looking assault rifles that they are raising and pointing
At
towards the
me?
door. Yes.
I couldn't stealth mine.
Well, they were watching the door
Okay.
because that was their job.
Alright.
There's only one way into that room.
Well, alright. There's...
Sorry, but can I just clarify something?
Yeah.
So they're wearing like Jaguar bodysuits.
They are.
Well, Jaguar, but from the context of the setting, because we're going into an Aztechnology facility, Aztechnology are like a Central American company, and Jaguar is effectively the symbols of their elite security.
Oh, okay. So they're not literally wearing animal print bodysuits with assault rifles.
Oh no, it is an animal print bodysuit, but it's most likely
okay.
made out of expensive Kevlar, be very highly resilient to damage, easy to move in, and be highly skilled at killing people.
Love that.
I will
Military.
call, if it's me that they see, I'll call heads up to the group that we're about to get. We're about to have company,
Well,
heavily armed company.
they don't fire; they just point the guns at the door.
I
And
move along.
remember, hang on. As
No.
soon as Shadowstar starts to get a bit worried, Dex will remind her that, hey, remember, we're wearing chem suits.
Yeah, that's
People who
true.
are locked in the rooms are probably thinking we're part of the team that's coming to secure and recover from any of the whatever it is that caused the lockdown.
Thanks for the reminder. I'll then instead give them a thumbs up and move along.
that they do a wave for you to keep going.
Yep.
Yay!
Declan, he's walking behind. He's now walking backwards because he doesn't
Yeah.
entirely trust the idea that I'm going
No.
Well, it would be the first time Desrin has seen the Jaguar guards up close and not been attacked by them.
I've
Well,
forgotten all about the Jaguar suits, to be honest.
How could you?
I have short-term memory problems.
whereas Declan's probably thinking, oh, it's getting a bit smelly inside my suit.
Yeah, my suit's really smelly too. I think I'm going to burn everything.
Okay, so moving on, you finally reach room 11.
And when you say you, who's you?
I believe
Well,
I believe Shadow Star's at the front.
Okay, cool. All right.
Looking in there.
Well, hopefully Bolton, Flogger just in front of Shadowstar, so that they're ready to take on if anything comes to take down the corridor at it.
Yeah. They're the front bodyguards, tanks, people who are my protection and my beloved friends.
Looking in there, you see the room is empty except for some examination tables that are covered in blood splatters.
Alrighty. I guess we're heading around to 13.
And passing 12, you see the lockdown symbol over the elevator shaft. The elevator only goes up from here. You're on the bottom level of Aztechnology.
Does it indicate where the elevator actually is right now? Is it on this level or is it elsewhere?
It just has the word lockdown.
Okay.
Martin, can I trouble you to get my drink bottle, which I forgot to bring over with
I
me?
can get you your drink bottle as everyone slowly makes their way around to room 13, hoping that no one comes out and does anything.
Sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Reaching room 13, this is probably the point where, realizing that you're in hazmat suits, you could probably bluff your way in and out.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. That's what we've got towel on for.
Yeah. How do we? Can you see into the room?
Yes.
Yes, you can see into the room. Just getting the description up. You see a couple of office desks in there with chairs, as well as a whole pile of boxes and what almost looks to be cooking and coffee machines.
So there's supposed to be 4 rooms off this room.
There are 4 rooms off this room, yes.
And just confirming, Martin, on the way down through that corridor and things like that, none of the other doors have been affected by the short circuit that Flogger caused?
None of the other ones have, just rooms 4, 1, 2, 8 and 9.
Okay, cool, happy with that.
Okay, so looking in there you can see 3 people in lab coats and 2 people in the security guards and a man with slicked back hair and greasy mustache.
We could go in bluffing our way, saying that because of the contamination we need to remove all the people in the rooms to isolation, to examination rooms.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's certainly a good chance that the 3 shots that went off earlier on would not be occurred for this distance, like for this area. So I would think that, yeah, we've got a good chance of talking our way in. And the idea that people are, okay, yep, we're starting to move people appropriately into isolation rooms while we confirm the source of the leak and things.
So we want 2 orcs and we need to get the good doctor to somewhere safe. Do you think that'd be a good story?
Okay, what was in the room again, Cody?
You can see it was 3 technicians, 2 security guards, and a man with slicked back hair and greasy mustache.
Okay. I don't suppose that any of the technicians, while we're just outside the door there, well, depending on how obvious it is that with the big window or whatever type of stuff, to how long they're going to take to overcome us. Whether or not we can see the name of any of the technicians, but I'm assuming they haven't got time for that now.
Well, they have the 4 secure doors. The technicians are all working at the back of the room, and you can see their monitors up in different directions with static on them. You think when you destroyed the other side of the complex and sent the virus back the other way, you might have taken out their system as well.
Cool.
Which means they have no idea what's going on.
So we could totally bluff in and say
I'm sure
we're
let them know all the details they need.
Yeah.
Okay. Talon, you feel like chatting?
Absolutely, but I feel like, I mean, is it just me who can go in, or can I recommend that Shadow go in with me?
Well,
and
we
Oh,
could.
well,
We could.
no.
We're all in
I'm thinking-
chem suits, so we could all go in. The troll and
Okay,
Bolt
we'll
could
all
be
go
there
in.
to escort as security kind of guides, and the elves
All
could
right.
be there as kind of assistants, and So technically, you could have the lot of us, and you could
Yeah,
say
absolutely.
that Flogger and Bolt are just in case the patients get unruly. They are orcs
Yeah.
after all. And we're here to, we're just here to assist you, escort them to where they need to be.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so basically now we're just gonna, go into the room?
Yeah.
Okay. So you knock on the door.
Yeah, I knock on the door.
Okay.
And,
You see the sleazy guy with the slick back hair gesture for the guards to go over to the door. He seems to be bossing them around.
So that's the guy you need to charm. Yay.
Okay. And what does the sleazy guy do? I mean, do they open the door?
Well, he seems to go over and pulls a manual release on the door, opening the door up for you. As the door opens, you get an overpowering smell of cologne.
Gross.
And you're realizing that considering none of the guards here look as if they're wearing it, you're smelling the cologne from this guy from across the room. Probably at least 6 meters away, and it smells atrocious.
Good luck
Okay.
covering up that stinky face.
Okay, so the door's open, right? And
Yep.
I'm smelling this cologne.
Even through your chem
I
suit.
guess. Pardon?
Even through your chem suit. The filters aren't blocking it out.
Okay, I just have a quick question. Can my face be seen reasonably well through this chem suit?
It would be a bit blurry, but they would be able to see a bit of it.
Okay. Well, look, I would give this. I would step forward confidently into the room and walk straight up to Mr. Cologne,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say, "Thank God, there's a man in charge. We're here to help."
He has this really big smile on his face. It just puts a shudder right up your spine as he smiles in your direction.
I'm
Oh.
so glad this
Hey,
is
it was
you.
always the intent of the comment.
This is like
Okay.
sleazy mustache man, like all over again.
And he says, basically, how may I help you so we can, meet up later?
Okay. In his spare time, he cleans pools.
Yeah.
Great. That very specific extra job. Yeah, cool. I mean, do I need to do anything else if I said my piece? Or what has he said in response to me saying?
He's asking you, how may he help you to get your job done quicker so we can then meet up with you later for drinks?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to say, I was too nervous to ask you out for drinks, so I'm so happy you did. Well, let's get this done quickly.
I goes, here, take my card. He hands you a business card, which is rather rare these days because it's quite expensive to print on paper and hand it out to people.
Okay, I handle the business card as if it's made of gold, and I look up at him with doe eyes. Oh, wow, of course. I pocket it carefully into my little zipper. Pocket on the side of my pants. Okay, hold on. Sidebar. What do we want? Do we want the... Oh, I know. Okay, I'm going to tell him. I don't want anything to get in the way of his and my date, and I don't... this is really... Death is important, hasn't taken more precautions for his own safety. It would be best if perhaps he left the room, and if these lovely gentlemen around him can escort him out.
That sounds like a good line.
He says, where do you want me? With one of those... You think he's trying to be coy about it, but he's just, really bad at hitting on you.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm going to send him to a room that we have already passed before. I don't know, would it maybe
Room
be
11, you'd think would be the best one to stick him in because that's the first open room before you've killed anyone.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Or what about... Okay, alright. Into room 11.
Plus the security guards, because we need to keep him safe. We can send
Yeah,
him away
absolutely.
later.
He says,
Absolutely.
says, what about those pencil pushers over there? He says, pointing at the technicians.
Well, okay. I'm thinking, like, logically, if the pencil pushers stay, we can probably kill them pretty quickly and they're not going to be a problem. Or, you know, we could say to him, you know what, he doesn't seem like a nice guy. I can say, oh, sure, I mean, you know, if you really care about their safety, sure, take them.
Okay.
You know.
Ma'am, the technicians will be useful for conducting the security part of the paperwork for the
Transfer.
the personnel. So
He
so they should stay.
says, good, trying to cut you off, and says that you can keep them. I don't really want them, as he's hustling out the security guards.
Of course, you wouldn't want to bother yourself with that anyway. Get out of here.
If an accident sort of happens, he'll say it was all their fault. He says as he walks out.
Of course. All right, amazing. So is he gone now?
He's gone, but he does do that wink and really corny gun point with his finger at you as he leaves.
Okay, I pretend to get hit by the guns in my heart, and then I pretend to faint.
Perfect.
Well, his day is now set. He's happy.
Awesome. Alright, where to from here? Someone, please.
Okay.
Closing the door.
Oh yeah, we slammed that door.
Okay, you're all in and the door is shut.
Does the door require a security code to open, or is it openable from the inside?
It has a manual release.
Okay, so we're all good as far as getting out of here when everybody else dies.
You are, and you see that each of the doors here also have manual releases on the outside.
Okay.
So you can get into any of the thing without a code.
Okay.
As they are designed
Okay.
for the security office.
What's the technician's demeanor at the present time?
Most of them look relieved. A few of them are trying not to throw up. And that they seem to be covering their mouth, waiting for the smell to dissipate.
Okay, all the try not to breathe.
Yeah. You do hear the retching sound coming from most of them.
I feel a bout of sympathy for them. I'm tempted to stuff them in one cell on their own and leave them alive. They had to put up with him. They've been tortured enough in this lifetime.
Declan's going to start looking in each of the cells.
Yep.
Starting at presumably at the first one.
Yep.
And see what's there. If the technicians respond or react or they're concerned, like they're making anything, then the intent will be basically sit down, shut up, no one needs to get hurt. Until they do that, you don't need to necessarily...
Well, while you're having a look in the rooms, I'll keep an eye on the technicians.
Okay, so looking in room 17, it's empty. In room 18, there is a woman with Dr. Carol Owens on her lab coat.
Finally.
Because, well, she is an important person before she was locked up.
Exactly.
So she actually got a name, unlike the others who only got assistant.
Yeah.
In room 15, you see that it is now currently empty, but looks as if people have been there recently. In 14, you see a group of orc women and children.
That'll be ours.
So 2 orc women and 4 children.
Okay. Declan's going to go towards the room with the doctor in it.
Mm-hmm.
And is it feasible to talk through the door without opening the door?
There is an intercom button.
Okay. Declan will hit the intercom button and he'll say, Dr. Carol... I keep thinking Travis in my head.
Owens.
Owen, yes.
Yep.
I keep getting Miss Marvel.
Yep.
But yeah, okay, Dr. Owen.
What do you want, Sanchez? I told you it's not my fault. It's all your guys' fault.
Well, would you like to get away from the area? It's not your fault.
What, are you now going? Are you now going to say it's well, she still splutters a bit, trying to come up with words, not really sure what you're saying to her. She does have the look of someone who has been beaten rather severely, and you can see that her arms are handcuffed behind her.
We should probably just transfer them out of here, like we were told to do.
Okay, so Jacob said, hey, we're leaving soon, would you like to come with us? And looking at the fact that she's handcuffed, he's thinking it's a fair chunk, but he will momentarily wait on the manual opening just to find out whether she does react to that phrase.
She looks up and says, I don't know who you are, who you work for.
I think you're confusing her.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
We don't work for here.
Okay, so Desrin gets to make a negotiation roll.
Oh, goody. Okay, this is where Tyler should have actually done the job. Oh,
well, you did volunteer yourself. I would have just, yeah.
He gets a yellow and 2 green.
Okay.
I thought we were following through on the ruse of transferring them, so I thought we were just going to take them out and lead them away and tell them what was happening later.
Okay, so...
Yeah, but Jacob was still curious whether or not this doctor actually wanted to leave or not, so...
she says this is just another one of Dr. Peter Hoff's tricks. She doesn't trust you. You did get a despair, but she looked like she was about to come around.
Yeah. So,
Are you sending you
Jacob will
crushing?
call over Carlin and Kay. Got to talk to her, explain the situation, bring her around. He's then going to talk, while he's doing that, he has the technicians had any concern or response from overhearing the conversation.
A few of them have their hands up saying, can they get out too?
Sure.
As in all 3 of them?
I would like to get out of this smelly place, yes, and away from that psycho.
Okay. I can't guarantee an immediate exit from the smell, but we are heading out. So he's happy to take them with us.
So does Tarlene go up and try to convince the good doctor that you're here to save her?
Yep. I go up and just say, you know, trying to save you. Not being an idiot. But I say it in a really nice, gentle way.
That doctor who's named.
Yeah.
Well, considering you are quite skilled at telling people stuff,
Oh no.
you do also get a despair as well, because she looks like she wants to believe you, but is really worried about dying.
Do I get to go?
You could, yeah.
Get in there.
Alright. I look to all the technicians and I tell them, you're welcome to come with us, get that group of orcs together and ready for transfer. I will open the manual door for Dr. Carroll. I will approach her very gently, get down on my knees at her level, and I say, we've been told to come and get you out of here, you need to come with us.
Okay, I believe you have some skill in this too, so I'm looking it up for you.
Sorry, I don't have my sheet in front
All
of me.
good, I do.
My body gave out.
Dave's going to offer a boost by saying, well, you tell me whether you like it or not. After you get out, you'll find out we're not working for the doctor bad guy.
I'm not sure that's going to help me, but yeah.
Does having a cute puppy help?
Yes. I haven't forgotten that you guys are here. I'm hoping you guys will help escort the Orc family out.
Okay, so it seems Shadowstar has the trick to get her to believe you. She didn't roll a despair this time.
Yeah, figured third time lucky.
It's only because Gangren and Talon softened her up firsthand.
Absolutely.
She agrees to come with you.
Like losing the bottle cap.
If you want to live, come with me.
And if that failed, Flo was going to step in and just
Carrier.
Well, that's what David said. You're coming with it whether you like it or not, but hey, you'll find it afterwards, we're good guys.
Did the technicians respond and round up the Orc family?
They say they might be too much for them to handle. They're not good with dealing with orcs.
Flogger and Bolt, would you be very friendly and kind to the Orc family and help
Well,
guide
Declan
them
will
out?
explain that we've been sent by Alan, what's his name?
Yes, Alan Bronston.
Okay, you say the magic words to them, so they instantly calm down after fearing that someone was going to open the door and just shoot them.
Yeah.
They happily run out and hug Flogger.
Of course they do. Flogger plays with Orc.
Well, Flogger's the only one that resembles a
troll, sorry.
non-human to them. Everyone else is human-sized,
Yeah.
including Puppy.
Yeah, Puppy can be intimidating at first. But
Right,
I'm
okay,
pretty
yeah.
sure it's going to take about 3 seconds before they're playing with Puppy.
A bit hard to see in the Ken suit too.
It is.
Yeah, true.
I also am not currently angry, so
Your puppy gets too angry, Puppy gets bigger.
So do you also go green?
Declan will have a look around to see if there's a key to the cuffs that are on Dr. Carol Owens. If you can't find something quickly and easily, Flogger, would you mind? I don't think we want the cuffs on it.
Looking at the cuffs, you see that they were welded shut.
We'll need Flogger.
They obviously had gone to some extent to make sure she wasn't getting free easily.
I don't know, what's Bolt's strength like, out of curiosity?
Pretty strong. Not as strong as Flogger, but pretty strong.
Yeah, pretty strong, yeah.
I think I've got 5. I do. It's 5.
Yeah, Declan will look around to see if there's like a hammer or a fire axe or something like that.
There is a cutting torch, which you suspect they may have used to actually weld it together.
Declan will say, Flogger, just hold it still for a moment. We don't want to hurt her if we cut it open, so I don't want to shake it. So, and then Declan will aim to use the cutting tool to carefully cut the chain or whatever the link between the two cuffs. Not going to try and cut the cuffs itself yet, just free her hands, so but leave with a couple of bracelets.
Okay, as you cut the bracelets, you hear something moving around inside the bracelets themselves.
Is that like something magic or explosive?
You'd expect it to be some form of tracker.
Okay, yeah, well, we definitely don't want the bracelets to come with us.
Okay then, yep.
Mainly because
Well,
that's the sort of thing
then,
that they do, because any high priority target is restrained in such a way that they can't get away easily.
I don't have any spells that could make those cuffs dissipate or something.
That's right.
Not
Yeah.
easily.
Just sort of
Is Dr. Owen willing to allow her, like, hold her hand out, to cut the cuffs partly?
She's even willing to tell you how to cut through it better.
Yep.
So what is your character's mechanics?
They get 1 green and 1 yellow, and it's got a talent related, so I don't know if it'll be applying to this one, but he'll also take flip a die. You don't want to muck up something in front of Talon.
Okay, so with the doctor's help, you get some extra dice. And yes, you manage to cut it off without searing through her skin. getting a triumph in there.
Marvellous.
So you do end up with 2 strain from it. It was hard to concentrate and not mess up in front of your new interest.
Absolutely, that's fine. I can understand that. I just distracted trying to work out what's the colour associated with my mechanics, but yeah, that's related to fixing things at half cost. So.
She rubs her arms and says, "So does this mean we're leaving?"
We're on our way out now.
Alacrity. Alacrity. That's the word.
So, I will talk to the doctor and the orc and explain the fact that which way the pathway we've got to take back out again. Obviously the doctor would know the way.
She does ask you, do you know, can you help her get into beta section to get the sample so the Aztechnology people can't use it against people?
Is that the
we
thing
can deal
we've
with that.
stolen already?
But she doesn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't want to leave such a dangerous item behind because it could spell the end to half the planet.
Can we just reassure her that we've already
taken
taken
good
care of
authority.
that?
The beta section has already been raided and the sample has been removed.
So let's get out of here then, she says. Hurry up.
But be aware that there were still some staff probably still locked in their rooms. So as we go past doorways, talking to both the Orcs and Dr. Owen, make certain you duck down so you can't be seen. And if any of the doors were set that you can't really duck down to avoid seeing, we'll try and arrange that a big flog or something like that is in a chem suit is between people walking past. So.
She does also say that the 3 technicians with you were complicit in releasing the virus on captive orcs, and they probably shouldn't get out with her.
Oh, okay. Those are the 3 that want to come with us.
Yes.
Oh, well.
No, that's right. That's right. No, we'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
Jason's quietly thinking, I'm sure Alan will be very pleased to meet them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was just going to say that, or we could just wait until you guys leave.
I'm assuming Dr. Owen says this quietly, not in the earshot of the other technicians.
She does. She does say it quietly to you.
Well,
That's
the
right.
other option, if we
Jacob-
don't want the extra baggage of the other 3 people, is people can go ahead while other people remain behind and more gunshots are, accidentally break out.
Jason's got a phone campaign. We'll take him out with us. We're going to meet up with some of the friends of these orc children and families. I'm sure they'd love to meet the technicians.
Mm.
I'm sure she says. So yes, you have no problems escorting them back, considering the hazmat suits are enough to keep other people not wanting to come close to you and find out what's going on, especially considering you're taking people without hazmat suits.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly considering the virus.
You would be...
Does Cullen wave or confirm, I'll call you as you walk past room 11?
Yes, I flashed in my tits.
Very classy.
And proudly.
How do you do that with the hazmat suit, though?
Apparently she's got style.
I was going to say, who says they don't have any magic?
Maybe part of it's clear and he doesn't have to worry about taking the whole thing off.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Or maybe she was always naked under the hazmat suit.
I was going to say, she could be a private naturalist.
No. Look, I sewed a little zip-off patch earlier. I came prepared.
Oh,
Look, what I really would have liked to have done is had my date with him and then, fed him something sinister. But I guess we don't have any time for that, so
Well, you can
we'll
just call
move
him.
on.
You've got his number.
Well, I was going to say, you've got his number. Technically, you could make time later.
Okay.
Yeah. And what a great time it would be.
At least for one of you.
Yeah.
One new account for SoCal to launder.
A new account for SoCal to launder.
Okay.
That he's an exec, so that's probably actually true. There's probably a lot of money in that account.
He's a worthwhile John.
You actually suspect he's a mage. Generally requires most of the execs aren't as slimy as he is.
Magically adding zeros to the bank account.
That's called an accountant. No, wait a minute, a dodgy accountant.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what
so
Floyd
we
calls
turn
the
back
money.
to
That's what Floyd calls the money mage. He doesn't know accountant, he knows money mage.
You make it back to the storage
entry
room
point.
quite easily.
and we will recover the wireless booster. So confirming just before Desmond actually heads up back into the event again, to just confirm with Tatiana. Anything else that we've missed, forgotten?
It
No
says
one's going to seen it because we've been had that booth the whole time.
and says that the from what she can tell, the security system's been offline since you fried the other end.
This works out
Beautiful.
well.
Well, you did have SoCal upload a virus into the system.
That's true.
Exactly. Okay. In which case then, yep, we cover the wireless booster, head back out through the pit goop,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you
meet up
didn't
with Jenny.
You didn't even have to make another application because you were within the hour. You were quite efficient this time.
Yep.
So you still have 2 applications of your 4 left.
That's
Nice.
actually very good news.
So, as you get out and Jenny comes up and she gives each of you a hug because you've saved some of her friends.
Mhm.
But she says we now must hurry to get out of here before the alarm sounds.
Yep.
I was going to say we used up all the explosives when we took down the space after leaving B, didn't we?
You did.
Yeah. Okay. So we can't do a similar thing for this one, but presumably Jenny knows the sewers well enough to take us away that will be difficult for them to follow, even if they were on our trail.
Oh, there will be no way to follow because we'll just close up the pathways behind us.
Mm-hmm.
She's got people waiting.
Yep.
You didn't. You understand that you got here only because we opened the way for you.
Well, he said Alan said that they'd make way for us, so I presumed that meant they'd be doing something.
To be fair, Jacob was a bit distracted on the way here. So.
You're not really paying attention to where he was going. So she sort of says to Desiree, eyes on the ground. You don't want to make sure what you step in doesn't make you fall flat on your face.
Oh, I don't know. I think it would be entertaining to see Desmond fall flat on his face occasionally.
But as we're going along then, Jason will have a quiet word to Jenny that
About the technicians?
the 3 technicians that are travelling with us, Alan and your friend, maybe have a word to them and discuss their activities, their workload, before you allow them elsewhere.
Well, Alan might have some community service for them. Assuming they're useful.
So
Possibly the
now,
community service they've got that they deserve is fertilizer.
now we want to hand off the doctor and our double copies to Walker and the other person who wants the doctor. Is that correct?
Well, if we can get in contact with Walker again, but
Yes.
the intent at the moment will be to get back to
Yeah.
Alan and
Silly me,
and
thinking
try and
about
arrange
the money.
contact with with Alan's
Yep.
corporate contact as where the doctor can move on to,
Yep.
along with a copy of her data, and the virus and the original data we can hand off to Mr. Walker. Assuming, of course, and this is certainly Desmond's plan and thought processes.
Yep.
Others may have concerns with the idea of handing a potentially global spanning mutagenic virus off to Ares Technology.
Where is that mutagenic virus right now?
Currently with the Alan.
Yep.
So as you get back to Wilhelm Park, you see Alan Bronston waiting for you. As you come into sight of him, he calls out, "Dr. Owens, I am ashamed. You had such bright dreams for our future, Carol. Yet you threw it all away for a research grant." She looks at him and says, "You don't know what you're talking about." And Alan smiles. Yeah.
Do I get any kind of reaction, or is this just
You
a
can react if you
cutscene?
want to.
I'm gonna put myself in front of the good doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling something bad's happening here, and I'm gonna alert my good flogger that we might have to move fast.
Well, I mean, it's clear that obviously there's more to Alan than we understood.
Yeah.
And he does say, "Would you like me to rattle off the mapping codes for the metagene spiral?" And then she seems to recognize him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because not all the first orcs weren't born orcs.
No.
And he says, "You've done a horrible thing, Carol. I want you to tell me one good reason why I shouldn't have you shot." As you realise there's probably about 20 odd guns pointed in your direction at the
That's
moment.
okay. This was potentially money. You can't blame Shadowstar for trying to protect it to some degree.
Depending upon if Carol makes any immediate response, aside from a bit of shock and concern, Desmond will certainly step forward and say, "I give you one good reason. She's supposed you arranged for us to get lots of money for her."
Yeah. This is my other concern. Does she respond, Martin?
She does respond saying that it was Peter Hoff who was developing alternatives to the metagene virus, where she was trying to find beneficial uses for the metagene virus. And it was Peter Hoff who had been experimenting on orc kids and males, seeing what it would do to them.
And how does Alan respond to that?
He does look
Desmond will
skeptical.
pipe up in support for her, saying, "Well, you may note that she's not in the best condition at the moment, Alan. We did find her locked away, secured. It would appear that she wasn't necessarily entirely following the company line."
She was beaten.
And you also have all the data of her research. So you could also use that as a bargaining point.
Yeah. I think we should
Well,
examine this more closely before we do anything rash.
Because I like to talk kind of thing that we don't actually know what's in her research, so that may or may not be advantageous for use.
Well, amusing thing is, a copy of your research is with SoCal, so you could always call him.
Yep, that's true.
You've never known him not to get data for you without copying it.
Absolutely.
So where are we right now? Are we in his office or?
No. We're in
What's-
the Wilhelm Park, like the
We're
old
in the
shopping
we're in an
centre.
open park.
You're in a shopping mall underground,
Okay.
buried under a
Yeah,
lava flow.
that's what I wanted to check. Was where
So most importantly, we're in Alan's
Alan's own
own
territory.
territory, surrounded by
orcs with
multiple
guns.
orcs with guns, who, whilst we've just helped them, may not necessarily be entirely friendly if we're going against Alan.
So I'll hold up my hand and I say, I think this bears more investigating before you make any sudden decisions. As my colleague here pointed out, she was handcuffed in a cell and beaten. So, it bears investigation as to the veracity of her claims before you make a decision about it.
Yeah. Following on from that, okay, if it comes down to Alan still being uncertain and Owen's trying to protect her innocence or whatever type of stuff, then after a few minutes, whatever type of stuff, Jekyll will say, well, I guess we could always check if you could understand this data.
Yep.
He says yes, he was a scientist in his own right before he changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Josh and I are gonna hop off. Mia's just woken up and she's a bit agitated and we're both pretty tired from work. So.
All good. Thanks for joining in for what you could.
Yeah, thank you guys. And
Presumably, we're hopefully all going to be clear sailing from here. What could possibly go wrong?
Of course, we'll go around. Sorry, I didn't catch our new player's actual name.
It's Al.
L.
Elle, hi. Thank you for playing with us tonight. Hopefully we'll see you again. And I'll talk to you guys on Friday.
Okay. Bye.
See you later. There we go.
Okay, so
I'd say Josh is possibly already asleep.
Josh will be disappearing as well, I believe. So yes, he
So,
does.
yeah, so if it comes down to it, then Alan can have a look through the data, which, okay, Desmond has no idea whether it'll be actually positive or negative for Owen's story, but hey, he doesn't really care either whether she's good, bad, or indifferent, except for the fact that apparently she was basically worth money, which is possibly already down the drain, based on the fact that Alan might have lied to us.
He may have.
It's not like it hasn't happened before.
Okay, so he spends a bit of time scanning through the data. And then he does relent and say that all the data does back up Dr. Owen's claim. So he will get in contact with Biogene and have them meet you at their safe house.
So we've got to deliver her there?
They will meet you there.
Yep.
They can get you out of the sewers and to a safe warehouse where one of your compatriots can pick you up.
Yep.
But they can't get you to the safe house from here.
Can I contact my car to meet us to get the rest of the party?
You can.
Because I know that Tatiana will get Desrin, but
Desrin may actually let someone else ride with him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wonder who. So the good doctor and I will at least need travel, and even if they're not currently actively with us, Flogger and Bolt can travel in the car with me and the doctor.
So the session will end with each of you getting showers and change of clothes before heading out of the sewers via places that will require you to walk through sewerage.
That would be nice.
I'm assuming that Womp has not yet had the opportunity to come back with whether or not they've recovered his system. I'm assuming that's still going on.
You'll find out next session if Womp returns.
Yeah, if we get
well, like this, but that's it. He's not back yet. Obviously, we were quite quick getting to in and out, so they haven't got back yet from that mission.
You believe you were gone for less than an hour in total?
Yeah.
You weren't that long inside?
No, it wouldn't have been a long job.
It was the quickest run you've ever had in one of the most high-risk places.
Do we know how much we're getting paid?
You're expecting to be paid in comparison to what you got paid by the Johnson previously.
Okay, alright, yeah, fair
And
enough.
if you can come up for a way, you can get paid by both.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Fingers crossed double payday, but we'll see.
It does happen. Okay, so
Okay, well, thank you very much for that.
I will put it on end credit, so if you'd like to chat and talk about stuff afterwards, that is fine. And Jeremy is going to see if you're busy on Saturday as well. So I'll put it on end credits.